Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's a house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working. There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
Yo. How's it going? Well, yesterday I went to that birthday party and then I felt like, I don't want to do a show. That's one of the only shows I've missed in a long time. But it felt kind of cool just to do something different. Yeah. I just do shows every single night. But guess what, everybody? It's another show tonight, and if you guys are, when you're watching, if you have the ability to support the channel, that would be great. This channel relies on you guys. We skipped a show yesterday, so, you know. I mean, I've been doing a lot of videos during the month, so ad revenue is pretty good, but if you guys can help support the channel, we've only got today and tomorrow, and then the next day after that is our donation night, believe it or not. Alright, so let's see what we can do tonight, you guys. How about this also? Let's try to make it a night where I don't have to ask 1,700 times. Wouldn't that be great? Alright, just to try to reach the goals without having to ask. Yeah. You know, I always have people say, Gray, I really like your stuff, but have you thought of doing, and then the next question they ask is a conspiracy theory. You know, it's like, forget it. It's almost like yeah, I mean, it was just, I mean, I'm going to do more of that here tonight. But first of all, we're going to talk about the, let's see, I was going to do like, you know, there was that shooting at that church today. And there's 2 different, we'll just get everybody caught up on all that. And we're already in a lull right out of the chute.
This happened at...
This is just started. This is how it kind of cut in like that.
This happened at 10:25 a.m. at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is located at 4285 McCandless Road. During this incident, what we know right now is that a 40-year-old suspect from Burton, he's a male. He drove his vehicle through the front doors of the church. He then exited his vehicle, firing several rounds at individuals within the church. 10 gunshot victims have been transported to local hospitals at this time, including one who has been deceased. Officers who were trained immediately responded to the area. One was a DNR officer, and then one was a Grand Blanc Township officer, where they met the suspect and they engaged in gunfire with that particular individual, neutralizing that suspect, and that suspect is no longer with us. As I said, it is a 40-year-old male from Burton. During all this incident as well, there was a fire that occurred, and we believe that was deliberately set by the suspect. We do believe that we will find additional victims once we have that scene secure. That fire was just extinguished by the Grand Blanc Township Fire Department within the past hour. So where we go from here is we have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was a motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that.
All right, so that's how that one ended right there. Hold on. I was trying to type something in here. All right, there you go. Yeah, so they're like, people are always saying, oh, the shadow disappears on the roof. There's a white spot and the shadow's blown out because that's what happens in video. When you have a white object amongst other objects, it blew out so you can't see the shadow. People are absolutely ridiculous out there, okay? But anyways, we are currently, right, I forget, I'm not going to do it. So when we started the show, I don't know if you heard what I said, but my channel relies on you guys for the support, and we're currently at $4.99. It doesn't work that way, okay? So if you guys have the ability to support it, that'd be great. I'm now having to ask again because we're struggling mightily right out of the gate, even though I didn't do a show yesterday. All right, so let's go ahead and put this one in right here. Hey, thanks so much, Amy Slates. All right. And welcome to all the new channel members there. All right, let me fix the audio on this one really quick. This is the second one that they had. I think there's another one that happened, but
Grand Blanc Township Chief.
I'm going to move it to right here when somebody's talking. It's only like 5 minutes.
I bring all these folks up here on stage today because we couldn't do this as a community without...
They aren't trying to help in good faith. RMTH. They aren't trying to help in good faith. That's where you're misguided. All right? They're not looking in good faith. You guys are looking for conspiracies. All you think of are conspiracies. There's no I haven't found any inconsistencies in the entire case other than the media reporting that was 8:06, that video. There's nothing, okay? So you guys just want there to be conspiracies and in the guise of just looking into things. It's garbage, okay? It's not true. Just like Candace Owens, she is an embarrassment in this regarding this case. Absolute joke. She's not looking for the truth. She is a paranoid, delusional person, in my opinion, who is just coming up with every single thing possible. Apparently now Tyler Robinson wasn't even there that day. Okay, if you're believing what she's saying you're part of the problem. Okay, and she has millions of people watch. That means there's millions of people who are part of the problem. It's disgusting.
Everyone who's standing up here today. We got with me on stage U.S. Attorney Jerome Gorgon, Acting Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Ruben Gleeman, Special Agent in charge of the ATF, James Deere, Grand Blanc Township Supervisor Scott Bennett, Grand Blanc Township Fire Chief Gent, Genesee County Sheriff's Department,
right, Sheriff
Chris Swanson, and MS.
Somebody literally told me today there's no proof that Tyler Robinson is the shooter. Are you like dense, like brain dead, or like what's happening?
Michigan State Police Captain Greg Marenko. I'm going to provide an update from the incident that we spoke about earlier today. It occurred
He's not a great friend.
at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints at 10:25 a.m. I want to talk about our officer's response.
Over $100,000 easily.
That call came out at 10:25 a.m. and 32 seconds. We had officers on scene at 10:25 and 57 seconds.
So what was that timing?
32 seconds.
Ah.
We had and 57 or 20.
Jesus.
Response. That call came out at 10:25 a.m. and 32 seconds. We had officers on scene at 10:25 and 57 seconds.
Wow, they got on scene in 20-something seconds. That's crazy.
The suspect, again, we're in the preliminary stages right now, was neutralized at 10:33:44 in the parking lot of that church. That suspect is a 40-year-old male from the city of Burton, who we identified as Thomas Jacob Sanford. That's Thomas Jacob Sanford, S-A-N-F.
Nobody knows what you're talking about, RMTH. Also, the shadow thing was not a huge deal that Chris discussed. He mentioned it in passing, but got a strike from you. That's garbage. He didn't get a strike. I don't know who Chris is or anybody you're talking about, but if they got a strike from YouTube, it had nothing to do with that. Okay, it was other things that person did.
F-O-R-D. Currently, where we're at, an update. I gave you 10 victims who were victims of gunshot. Since then, we have 2 victims who are now deceased. One had died at a local hospital.
So 3.
And again, that suspect is deceased as well. 7 other victims at this time are in stable condition. 1 is in critical condition. Now, for the reunification, I had a question earlier about, hey, where can people call to see if their loved one is okay at the reunification center? I want to provide a number for you for that. It's 248-705-7352. Also, I know that our community is hurting right now, and we want to provide some resources for our community moving forward. At the Genesis Athletic Club in Grand Blanc for Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we will have services for the community. From Wednesday to Friday, those services will be available to our community at the Grand Blanc Senior Center.
I don't even know what real.
That's all I have for now. I will give you another update, another press conference at 8 p.m.
Is anybody, that one out there, is there anything new in that one? I wanted to check that out. Let's see. Okay, this is the other one. Has it already happened? Okay.
Acknowledge the heroism of not only the first responders.
So quiet.
State and local law enforcement partners.
Ah, forget it. I'm sure they're just glad handing everybody. Let's see. So I do have, I mean, it's crazy. The scanner audio is the fire department because there was a huge fire.
All units on main, hold your traffic. All units on main, hold your traffic. Grambling Township Fire, stand by for dispatch on a structure fire.
See, that's the church on fire. It just, the whole thing, it just keeps going on and on and on.
Grambling Township Fire, respond on Fireground 2 for commercial structure fire, 4285, 4285 McCandless Road at Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. It's across of Holly. We have an active shooter at the church and PD's on scene saying the building is also on fire. You're going to be on Fireground 2 at 1032. Grambling Township Fire, respond on Fireground 2 for commercial structure fire, 4285, 4285 McCandless Road at Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints across of Holly.
Yeah, so what this guy did was, let's just read what it says. Iraq war veteran Thomas Sanford ID'd as gunman who attacked Grand Blanc LDS Church, killing 4 and setting it ablaze. So I guess there's more now. The deranged madman who killed at least 4 people and wounded 8 others at a Michigan Latter-day Saints church is a 40-year-old Iraq war veteran who served in the U.S. Marines, the Post can confirm. Thomas Jacob Sanford rammed his Chevy Silverado truck into the building before opening fire on worshipers at a Sunday service of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township, Michigan. Yeah, it's Mormon. The vehicle had 2 large American flags behind the cab and a set of deer antlers attached to the bumper. And then look at the fire that happened there. I mean, that's just crazy. See that? I wonder what they're going to find out about this guy. So I guess he rammed into the building there. And then what did he do? Start shooting people and then put gasoline on things? Probably somebody with like PTSD or something. What have they been finding out about this guy? A dormant GoFundMe page from 2015 raised more than $3,000 for the couple's now 10-year-old son, who was born with congenital hyperinsulinism, or CHI, a rare genetic condition where the pancreas releases too much insulin. Pictures from the Sansers Facebook page show the family smiling, posing in the beds of pickup trucks or in a field of tall sunflowers. And by the way, you guys, if you're watching the show, if you could please help support the channel tonight. We are having one of those really slow, lull type nights already. And it'd be great to get some support from the people watching, because we have our only today and tomorrow, and then we have our donation night. We've given $2,000 out so far this month. An unnamed witness for Fox 2's Detroit said the attack started at about just after the congregational hymn, when hundreds of people were inside the building for a 10 a.m. service. Churchgoers reportedly heard a loud bang at as the attacker crashed his truck into the church. What at first thought someone had accidentally crashed into the church, so we went out to help him, the man told the local TV station. Paul Kirby, 38, who also ran outside to render assistance, believing it to be an accident, told the New York Times he saw the man getting out of the truck from about 10 to 20 yards away before he realized what was happening. He started shooting at me, Kirby said, saying a bullet whizzed through a nearby glass door, clipping his leg with a piece of shrapnel. He then rushed inside the church to find his wife and 2 sons before they fled through the back of the church and loaded as many people into their car as they could before speeding away. Grand Blanc resident Tony Deck told USA Today that he drove by the church after hearing sirens and saw at least 4 yellow canvases over dead bodies. I don't know. It sounds like there's only 2. That's what it sounds. Maybe 3, including the shooter. Stop sign on fence. What does that mean? Anyways, thanks. Testing 2741. And Ashley Ferris. All right. I mean, what's weird, though, it's like this isn't, there's nothing in Trump or any of his dialogue that would make somebody go attack a Mormon church, okay? So we don't know what the reasoning behind. There's no political philosophy. So even if a guy, this isn't one of those things, right? Like the Charlie Kirk shooting is political and was done for ideological reasons. There's nothing in the platform of the Republican Party, for sure, that has anything negative against Mormons, okay? It's just is what it is. I don't really know what to say. So who knows what this guy, what was going on? Maybe he has PTSD, something like that. Hey, thanks, Nonya, or Nunya, 42123, and testing 2741, and Wild Bill Wassman for gifting a membership. And I think I have a where he lives too. At the time, it's not really that far away. right here. Wow, that's incredible. There's actually a skeleton walking in their yards, and they got a picture of it while it's walking there. That's what the conspiracy people sound like. Instead of just going, oh, that's probably around Halloween or something. You know, I mean, who knows? But there it is. Okay. That's their house right there. It's actually a June photograph, so they probably just keep it there because that's what they want to do. Who the hell knows? Yeah. It's not cool, Gray. These people are looking at... I don't believe, you guys, that people are looking into the Charlie Kirk case with good faith. I think they're continuing to try to build more and more content by coming up with every Tom, Dick, and Harry conspiracy theory. How come the people looking into the conspiracy theories, they keep changing to a different conspiracy? Wouldn't they just still be working on the first one, like trying to really prove what they thought? Instead, they just keep moving to the next. You should look at that. There's a meaning. So it's actually really close. It's not far away from the church. I mean, I bet you it's, what, maybe 5 miles? Let's see. Yeah, 5.48. So there you go. Let's just check out another. Let's see if there's any extra. Ah, jeez. That's crazy. Police said the shooting happened at 10:25. I think they're just going to repeat what he said. What we know about the shooting suspect: after the shooting, Sanford was confronted by an officer from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and a Grand Blanc Township police officer who had responded to the scene. Those two officers exchanged gunfire with Sanford, and he was killed. That's what you know about him? What do we know about the shooter? Okay.
Responded 281 Piper's Lane at Highland Mobile Home Park.
Yep.
Crossing out Morrison Door.
Anyways, it got really heated there. I don't know, I mean, I was thinking we were going to go over this and figure out all these different things, but I don't know, what information there is on this individual. I tried looking around. I've seen his wife's Facebook page. He's on there, but there's I didn't see any of his posts or anything like that because his Facebook pages are gone. It's amazing how quickly these days, have you guys noticed that? Like the suspects in some of these cases, their Facebook pages are removed seemingly within like an hour of the actual crime itself. I mean, it's unbelievable. Hey, thanks, Trustworthy Technology. I like your style, Gray. Call out all the ignorant ass clowns and speak your mind. Appreciate you. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I mean, some people don't like it. I just don't have... I've just realized over the years I don't have time. Like, if the information points in a different direction, I would go there. I really would. I've done it many times. But when you start getting information and factual information from cases and you start putting it all together and it doesn't do that, then, like you're looking at it and it just makes sense. There's no reason to pretend that the next, like it's a huge conspiracy, because you ever notice that? Like every time a piece of information comes out that, for example, the thing yesterday where, in the video I made yesterday, where we learned that the suspect talked to talked to an officer when he came back to try to retrieve the rifle, right? That should have been, wow, okay, here we are. Okay, that even matches what he was saying. They just think it's another layer of conspiracy. It's crazy because they can't get off of their story. It's kind of sick, really. Let's see. Anyways, have you guys heard anything extra on this case right here? I thought there was going to be like a hell of a lot more about him. I guess we could try to type that in. Let me just check out. You know, usually you've got that. Remember, Heavy used to always do really quick things. All right, so CNN has something. And if there's anything related to Trump at all, they're going to jump right on that really fast. Police say Sanford 40 of Burton, Michigan killed 2 and injured at least 8. A Marine Corps spokesperson told CNN Sanford served as a sergeant and received several medals for his service, which lasted from 2004 to 2008. That's during that just horrendous time in Iraq over there. He was deployed during Operation Iraqi Freedom for several months, starting in the summer of 2007. Sanford graduated from Goodrich High School in 2004 and was recognized among other veteran alumni, according to an archive page from the school website. A local news profile of Sanford from 2007 said he was deployed with the U.S. Marine Corps to Japan before preparing to head for service in Iraq. Social media accounts linked to Sanford's family show that he was married with at least one child, a young son. According to a GoFundMe page from 2015, the family was in need of donations to help pay for medical care of Sanford's son, who was born with a rare genetic disorder. The newborn baby was diagnosed with a condition called congenital. Okay, the child's medical condition. I'm not sure why they're putting this in here. This doesn't seem like you're supposed to be putting in, CNN putting out medical conditions of a child. I don't know. I guess it was on a GoFundMe page, so that's public. Don't ever take having healthy kids for granted, Sanford is quoted for saying in an article. We are proud of our child. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps and was in Iraq, and this is still the most unique thing to deal with. Other posts on Sanford's mother's Facebook page show that Sanford was a hunter posing with deer and other game. Sounds like somebody just kind of lost it, I mean, the funny thing is the ideology of attacking a church it's not a conservative ideology, so I'm not really sure what's happening with this guy. Hey, thanks, Vicky White. All right, so I guess what we're going to do now, we're going to switch over to why am I in Idaho? I think I turned off. There, it's right over here. I think I turned off all of the pins. There we go. Now they're on. Right there. What's this person saying? His father didn't turn him. Well, it was the sheriff turned him in. Remember that the friend had him come with him, and that's who turned him in. Yeah. Anyways, hey, thanks, Allie Cake. All right. Oh man, we're still talking about the guy. Listen, you guys, listen. Tyler Robinson is the shooter. However, whatever happened. We'll figure out at some point why the bullet did whatever the bullet did, but he's the one who shot the bullet that hit him. There isn't some other person. There isn't somebody that climbed out of a trap door. Okay? There isn't somebody inside of a bush where the bullet traveled over 90-degree angle. There isn't somebody that shooting under his armpit with a ring kind of gun type thing between his fingers. Okay, there isn't, I mean, it's just, you can go on and on and on and on and on. The truth is, the only thing that we need to sort of figure out is what kind of ammo he was using and why it did what it did, not is he really the shooter. That isn't even any question here. She wouldn't even watch him. Candace Owens is only confirmation bias. That's it. She will never watch anything that disproves anything that she says, nor will she believe it, because she'll say that's not proof, blah, 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 blah. Right? So, all right. So somebody in my live stream, it is true, you can have the shadows automatically update. I've done it before, but I didn't have it set up that way when I was going over it. I just like to render it so it's clear, because the shadow in this program, see, I have 3 different things set up now. I now have the roof one, and these are all north-south oriented, perfectly. They're just for different segments that I grabbed, and then the sunlight system is right here, see? And then see all these little cylinders right here? All these cylinders that I have set up, those are cylinders that are just kind of randomly where he was running when he came off the roof, etc. And so we have all these things we can look at here. And I set up cameras, like that camera is, you know, it's not a 3D building, so that's just what we get to work with right there. But the angle of the sun would be similar. So I've got the cameras up in the sky, and that's the same roof and everything. Do you guys recognize that just by looking at it? But anyways, you guys, we keep having these lulls tonight, so I need you guys' support on the channel. We only have 2 more days left in the month, as I've already explained. All right, so look on the roof right there. So you can see the shadow right there. Now people go, how come the shadow, look at it, disappears when he runs over there? Yeah, look at, you can see the shadow right there on the edge, right? And then, but right when he goes on the roof, it's blown out because this is completely white here. It's like for whatever reason, the camera looks at it as white and the shadow's blown out. That's how it works. I've seen it a million times. And then when he goes over here, that right there is, let's see, I think that's actually the towel. See right there, he's not putting anything in the corner. It's the towel and the gun, and then he turns it. You know, it's kind of strange how it does you know, the problem is when you have slow shutter speeds and stuff like that, when he's turning, you know, you still see something over here, but that's just the shadow that actually now you can see on that part of the roof. All right. So when he's turning right here, that's a shadow right there as he's turning, and then he goes around like that and puts the gun down. I don't know if you can see it. Let me, why does it look like that over there but not over here? I don't get it. Weird. And look at this really big guy right over here. He's like trying to pick up the building. You see that weird guy? See his right arm right there, and then a head, and his long body standing there? Couldn't possibly be a tree. It's got to be another person, but he's actually about 12 feet tall. It's a really odd-looking person there. He said with sarcasm. All right. Oh, that's right. It is a tree there. You see that? All right. Well, let's go back up to the roof. And I'm going to show you. Will it matter to you guys at all? I mean, look how clear that is. He's got a rifle and carrying it inside of a black towel, you know. So you can see the shadow. See, it's right there. It's not invisible. So look at the angle of the shadow. So notice how it kind of goes, if you compare it to that, it's almost parallel with the roof line. So it goes straight out that direction. All right, now let's take a look at the, over here. And I'm going to go select the light over here. And I have it set to 12:25 because that's the time, right? So look what it looks like. I mean, it's exactly the same. Can you see it? Over there? I mean, I could move the camera closer, that way to be bigger, but it's exactly the same. So see that? See, you can see the shadows on there. It's almost parallel with the roof completely, right there. Does that answer some questions, everybody? Well, Gray, of course, when they're making the fake video, they had to make sure the shadows lined up. Well, then why'd you want me to test it? Why'd you want me to test it then? Hey, thanks, RMTH. Hey, you see that right there? Now we got a coffee from Lisa Valenzuela. And also Sarah sent a PayPal. Thank you. Appreciate that. Very kind, very kind. Does everybody see the shadows? Can you see it? Or do I need to render out a shot here? Let's just do one. The no shadows nutters. Well, anyways, you can see right there. Boom. That shadow's absolutely consistent with the shadows of him moving around on the ground, over here, everything. All right? And we can even just see it. So there he is, right there. He's running, and then he jumps down. Let me go. I kind of edited this one a while ago, but let's just zoom in over here. See, even right there. See the angle? I mean, it's on a hill, so it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's facing that direction exactly the same. Just like this. See, over there? That one and this one. And it even looks a little different angle because as the camera moves, see, this one looks like it's going like that, but this and this are identical. Oh, man. Jeez. Guess I can't take nights off. I gotta be here every single night because we'll have another bad one the next one after that. Yeah, I was going to do, I already have the image for doing the shadow at the stairs, all right? But as you can see right here, the shadow on the roof matches perfectly. I'll probably make a video doing this because very few people take the time to watch the live streams. All right, I'm going to have to do it again, you guys. For the people watching my show, my channel relies on the people watching the channel. At the end of the month, I take a large portion of the income. We give it to various places. I also have a lot of stuff that I pay for. I spend a lot of time doing the shows. And you guys help, create income for the channel. And I rely on you guys. So we can't have nights where everybody's just like, yeah. I need your guys' support when I do these shows because the end of the month is coming up in 2 days. And I'd like to be able to I'm trying to be able to give away 5,000 total. We've already given 2 out. So if you have the ability to, that would be great. I'm not sure what tonight, I wasn't even here yesterday, so I was hoping tonight we could just have a smooth flowing night where I don't have to ask 17, because people go, Gray, why do you always have to ask? And here's why. Because it's just, when I do these shows, I can't do 3 hours of shows just staring at the screen. All right, we got to have, we generate income doing the show, and you guys support the channel. I do the shows, right? And this should be a channel that people are supporting because we actually do true crime the right way with factual information instead of putting out absolute just nut job information where everybody is over there just, oh, wow, and they support the hell out of those people. And so what we're trying to do is have you guys support my channel the same way, except for the right reasons. We actually know what the hell we're doing over here. Thanks, Marav and RMTH. All right, so when people want to know, let me just show you something. I think I can probably do something if I take the monitor and you can see it. So then you can all, how about this one? Yeah, maybe that one. I can go all the way over to the side. Yeah, like that. Over here. And this is like the data in here. So maybe you can see it if I... Yeah, look at that. There you go. That's actually the panel on the right. Man, that was pretty damn clever right there. And we're almost lolling out again. It's crazy. All right, you see at the top of the screen, we have September 10th, 2025. Right here. September 10th, 2025. -6 UTC time. You can look it up. And then right here is, it says Orem, Utah is the location. So that's way, that everything is accurate on there. And then I have it set to 12:25. That's the time that Tyler Robinson is running off the roof. And so that way you can be confident that what you're looking at. And see, here's the thing, how it works in Google Earth. So let's say you're like this, right? And if you hit the R key, it rotates it north-south oriented. You can see it right up here in the upper right-hand corner. Right here. See that? That's how that works. And so you hit the R key and then you have it. So now that's what I used in the map, just like that. And we can go over to Google Earth and there it is. That's the image I put on a plane, measuring, putting the same, in feet, the same width and height, etc. He did have an autopsy, everybody. Charlie Kirk had an autopsy, everybody. There is zero doubt that he had an autopsy. I know people claim that. He had an autopsy. It's absolutely fact that he had one. Thank you. How do you know, Gray? We haven't seen it yet. How many cases have we ever got the autopsy in 2 weeks? I mean, that's ridiculous. Insane, really. Yeah, we might not get to see some of this other stuff. Right. It's crazy. Looney Tunes. So we can, let's check out the time when he goes through the tunnel, the shadow. Alright, so then I gotta make another texture over here. We're currently at about 35% of the nightly goalie, guys. And there's the tunnel. And then we can take one of these cylinders, duplicate it, put it over here. Maybe just put it, you know, sort of in this area right there. I'll make it smaller. And then I'll take one of these cameras that are over here. Oops. Not sure why it went down like that. Thanks, Alley Cake and Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah, so, I mean, that's close, right? I mean, that's right there in the entrance. We don't have the actual tunnel itself, you know. All right, there you go. So, in this case, he's on the steps, and it almost appears to barely go, like almost at the same angle kind of as the steps. I mean, I guess we can just take a look and see it. So let's just pretend that that's him. Maybe, you know, put him about like this or something, and then we go over to the daylight system. Right here. And it's at 12:25, but that's not what time that was. This is like 11:53. So 11:53. And the shadow, the sunlight system is too far off over here. So if I move this, that's interesting. Yeah, so I put it over there. Actually, jeez. Right there. Yeah, look at that, see? Man, that's exactly what it looks like. Just like that. See that? It's just steps, but it's just going right up there, exact. I think that's, you know, again, just like a perfect example of that is an accurate time frame on the clock there. And that, and you know, this could have been a couple minutes later too, you know. But see how it's right there? Hello. Ah, Jesus. Man, it's like brick wall material. Yes, the math is mathing, yours isn't. Oh my God. I'm not sure who you're talking to, but my math is definitely mathing. I don't know, Alley Cake. Even though I wasn't here yesterday, we're having one of those. It's crazy. We're at like 40%. I don't know, but it'd be great. We got to try to do good on these last 2 days here. Are you going back on? I don't know if I'm going back on Ashley's show or not. I have her number. You know, she gave me like if I find something or whatever. Why? Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah, let's see. So we need about another 40 channel memberships to reach the goal. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, basically if we get 40 channel memberships, I'll donate 5. That's how far away we are. Let's see. It was fun seeing you on the show. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I was on Court TV too. The next day, then I was on Law and Crime as well. So what other shots? I think that's about it, right? I mean, I don't think you can prove anything any greater. I mean, the shadows match up to him running on the roof. Thanks, Olivia. So what do you want me to figure out now, you guys? I think what's interesting is that one shot, you know, now that we know that that's like at 10:05 or so. So you have this one at 9:58, so he walks around like this. Yeah, I think he went exactly like that. Around, and then came in right over here. How far is that? Let's see. That's not what I meant to go over here. Let's see if it's reasonable. So a half mile, if you're walking 3 miles an hour, would take 20 minutes. I think that's probably, you know, he's probably could be walking that quick. But also he may have done something differently, although he does walk by right there. So it seems like he goes on the campus earlier, I guess, and then he parks his car somewhere, I think, right over here, as we've been talking about. Right over in this area is where I think he parked his car. In fact, I'll probably draw a line. I think he parked his car somewhere like right in this area right here. Right inside there. That's what I think. Yeah, we need a lot more channel memberships tonight, you guys. We got a lot of people in here that aren't channel memberships, and got to see if we can get some gifted to people. Yeah, you know what's even worse, Jay, is you. You're one of those people that come in and disrupt shows, and you're kind of what make it hard to try to get somewhere in the chat. You know, it's just you're just not a good person, Jay. You'll have to work on that a little bit. Yeah, listen, quit making excuses for Candace, okay, you guys? I don't care if you like Candace Owens. It just means there's something wrong with your brain. Candace Owens is turned into a conspiracy nutter in the same vein as Alex Jones. Just absolute nut jobs. She's telling, you know, apparently she's saying that that he wasn't even there that day, Tyler Robinson. I mean, really? What do you mean? What do you mean he wasn't there? His parents recognized him on camera. Ooh, that was from a different day. They took the picture and then they sent it in. You guys are crazy people, okay? And you're embarrassing yourself by attaching and giving any credibility to things. I mean, I'm sure some of the stuff she says about her and Charlie and messages and things, sure. But any opinion she has on who the shooter was and all the stuff, she has no clue. She's not a true crime person. She's a nut job, all right? She's a person who, and that's my opinion, okay? You can think of her however you want to, but she does not have like a factual, and you know, and like, here's the thing. If I sat here and I debated with her, the way she talks, she would probably, people would agree with her, okay? But what I'm telling you is she is full of, I mean, she's full of shit, really. I'm sorry, you guys. I used to love, and here's the thing. This is coming from somebody who used to love Candace Owens. Not only is she smart as hell, she's absolutely beautiful, right? I mean, she's just like, you want to just listen to her, and she's talking, and, you know, and that's how she used to be. She used to be somebody you go, wow, look how amazing this is. Finally, somebody's telling the truth. And then she just turned into a conspiracy nut job. And we don't know, like, exactly. It's been a couple of years, too, not just recently. It was just kind of weird, too. I mean, nobody likes Kamala Harris, but she was spending all of her time doing, like, family tree stuff on her, you know, to see if she's more Indian than... it was just the weirdest thing in the world. Who cares, man? Who gives a crap? And thanks, pub friend number 1. This says, I'm withholding judgment on Candace until Monday's podcast. She's fiery, but in my opinion, sincere. I don't know. You might think she's sincere, but what does that mean? That just means she's delusional if she's sincere. I do believe she's a truth seeker. I appreciate your contributions, especially the shadow analysis, top notch. Hey, thanks. Appreciate that. And thanks for Sarah Francis. How do you buy a membership? Well, right below the video, I don't know if it's on this one, you hit the join button. But if you have an Apple phone, somebody put the link in there for Apple. Anybody have that one? Or like if I typed in join, does that show up? Let's see. And if you can, see if you can do the oogla boogla. Preliminary hearing tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's it right there, right? That join button. Right there. Yeah, but why would... She doesn't want to watch my show, because it won't make any difference to her. You know what I'm saying? It's just... She went straight ahead and watched that one crazy guy's video, because it got a lot of views, and she wanted to jump on that train and was really interested in the face behind the bush. That image right there is doctored. Okay, I've seen tons of other shots right after. Okay, like literally within seconds, and there's nobody there at all. Nobody's moving around on there. And I think that they put a little skin tone up in there to make it look a certain way, and that person's laughing all the way to the bank. Hey, welcome, Sarah Francis. Yeah, so like, well, I mean, I'm just going to, like, on this one it says, I do believe she's a truth seeker. I mean, I guess, you know. I mean, but here's the thing, is when it says she's fiery, but in my opinion, sincere. Right, so people can be sincere and be totally wrong, right? Like completely delusional, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could be sitting there going, oh, God, you know, they really believe what they're doing. I have a hard time believing that with her, though, because every day it's a different thing that, quote, just doesn't add up. You know, how is that possible? I haven't seen anything that doesn't add up yet. That's because you're not digging deep enough, Gray. Okay. All right, that's what it is. All right. I read what y'all were saying wrong because Marcus... Who's Marcus, man? Just quit. We're not as in, man. She is mad at someone and makes stuff up about people she's mad at. Well, I don't know who she's mad at there, but she always has this little look. And the way she words things and picks on various things makes people I don't know, what do you call it? It makes them sort of like, wow, I think she's onto something. Because she looks into the camera with that little, you see what I'm saying here? And there really wasn't anything that she said. You look at it and you just go, well, so what? What does that mean? Nothing. Anyways. Yeah, you might be right. Maybe she is sincere. I have a hard time believing that, but because I think she is, unless she's had some break, a mental break, I don't see it being sincere because she was always one of the smartest people, and she's been, she said stuff that's just verifiably incorrect. And then she kind of just doubles down on it instead of admitting, you know what, I had this wrong. It's crazy. But anyways, so let's just look at this. At 9:58, he's walking this direction. So he's likely coming from where he parked the car. I think that's really it right there. Watch this. All right, 8:23, his car is driving by right here, and he likely drives by where he eventually is going to park the car. And then maybe from there he drove up this direction and then kind of goes onto campus, drives around, maybe parks here, gets out of his car for a minute. I mean, what a great place to park right there for a couple minutes and look up where you're going to be going and jumping down, etc. And then he drives the car back around, however he went there, maybe back over here, and then parked where he was going to park. And then he does another scouting mission of the walk that he's going to take. So then he starts walking from his car that's parked over here somewhere, and he goes down this street, comes around over here. I wonder if he actually parked somewhere like right over here. That's weird, but he walks over here and he looks over, you can see his sort of the route from where he's dumping the rifle. And then he walks around, comes down here, and then he's seen on that surveillance camera. And that's like 10:0 something. All right, it's 100% that time. Okay, it isn't, there's no chance that it's, let me just show that part again if you're interested. So I got to move the light back over there. I think I need to make this higher up in the air or something. Does it have a shadow on that? Nope. So I got to move it over. There. See, you can see it. See that little, that's kind of interesting. See how there's a shadow sliding across the screen, and then now you can see it. That's interesting. I wonder if it just needs to be higher up in the air or something. Let's see. How does that work? So if I move that, is it? Yeah, I can see it there. I can see it on that one. And let's try to dial this one in better. So I have this pretty much where that is, but it's not quite right because it needs to be higher in the air. Probably, unfortunately, it needs to be kind of more like this. And then rotate it around. Yeah, that's better. That's better than that one. Yeah, see that? That's a lot better. And so he's walking here, and both articles I read said 806, and Candace Owens said it was 806. Now, did she get it from the article, or were the articles quoting her? So, there you go. Right, see that angle's a little bit better now on 3D Studio Max, because this a minute ago was really short, as I described in my video, but now you can see more of it. All right, so that is the angle. So I'm gonna, it's probably might be a little lower than that, don't know, but we're looking through the camera right now, and I'm gonna render out one shot. All right, guys, we're on another lull, and we are currently at about 60% now. making some moves. Appreciate that. But if you want to become a channel member or help support the channel, we got the super chats, coffees, etc., etc. Missed the show yesterday for the first time in a long time, and then we've got our month-end donation night is the last day of the month. Why do people keep talking about the mathing? There's nothing in this case, you guys, that doesn't make sense. Nothing. I guess the only thing that you want to have the answer for is how the bullet does what it's doing, etc. You know, what type of bullet was he using? You know, that's it. So you got that. And then let's take the shot from here. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't even change the time. Got to go back to here. All right. So this is, we see the shadow there. We click over here and then live. This should be 10. Like like 06 or something. Like that. So it's lower. And if you do 8:06 in the morning, it's almost dark out and the shadow is really low and it's almost straight down here. So the time that was mentioned is this, watch. I mean, you can't even see it on that one, the shadow. But if I render it, you can see it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what's happening in the chat with different people. Oh yeah, you're trying to get people to watch, hey, I've got something on my post. You're trying to, like, come on, no reply. You aren't being... Here's the thing. I don't believe that people coming in here claiming that the bullet came from somewhere else are being genuine people. I think you're trying to sell a story, and it's garbage. All right. Not sure where you can see the shadow. What did I do? Let me check this out. 8:06. Yeah. I think I need to fix this thing up here. It's so high up in the air. See the low angle? That's the sun angle at 8 in the morning. There it is. What are you talking about? She fell in love? I don't know, you guys. I'm not sure why we're struggling again tonight. I just asked earlier if I could have a show where I don't have to ask, you know? All right, so this is 8:06. See how that doesn't really work? I could see being curious early on, but the curiosity should be gone at this point. The case is solved. I'm just trying to put everything together. So look at that angle of the sun at 8:06 in the morning. You see that? That isn't even close to the one. If I go to Premiere, look at the angle. They said that was 8:06 in the morning. It should be going like this, like straight out almost. It's crazy. So what you do is you just kind of experiment and kind of base it on how the shadow's hitting these various lines on there, and when you do that, you can let's see, go to the setup again over here, and instead of 8, maybe make that 10 o'clock, and then you look at that, and that looks pretty good. 10:06. And I made this longer so that the line would continue through the side, the groove between them. Somebody was sleuthing out. That's not what that's called, Gray. It's not a grout line. It's called it's like, who cares, man? Is that what you're sleuthing out? What the name of the line in between? It's ridiculous. Anyways, they're right there, and then... Hey, thanks, Dixie Hippie. Alright, so take that one. And then we'll go to Premiere here, and we'll take this one. Like that. Take that image. And put it over here. And it's a different angle of the camera, so it's... I guess I need to fix that. Yeah. I mean, the angle of the sun's the same. Let me see. In here, see, that's supposed to be a little bit of an angle that... Let's see. If I go up above, is it right in the middle? Yeah, it's hard to... I mean, it's supposed to be right there. I'm just trying to get the same angle on the cement. Yeah, like that. Or it's more like that, anyways. Thank you, Karen, and Alley Cake, and Dixie Hippie. What if I rotate the camera? Does that do that? The other way. Keep going the wrong way. That's pretty close there. Yeah, so the top of that square is, it just goes to right there. There's one. Take that one. Yeah, it's kind of hard to... let me just go like this. Grab that down there. It was easier the way I did it earlier because I had the camera lower and it made the angle that it needs to be on the camera on the building. Alright, so it kind of looks like that. You know, I mean, it's not exactly the same, but see how even that little repair out on the street is similar. But what you really look at is this square right there. See that? Look how that, if you drew a line from his feet down the shadow, it would go right into that corner, just like this one, and even a little bit on the left-hand side of it. Can you see that? Like if I went like this, watch, from his feet and drew it through there, it'd be like this. See that? I think I have to make it a little thinner so you can... So it's about like this. And then even though these aren't looking the same here, you really just compare it to the square, and that goes right through the same portion of that square there. So if I went like, I guess if I drew a square here, it'd be like that, and then like this. You can kind of, it's not really clear, but it's right there. See that? So it's exactly the same. We've already talked about it, Dead Pisces. Why don't you go back and watch it? So there you go. And so that makes this about 10:05, or, you know, it could be later or by a few minutes. It could be earlier by a few minutes. I would think it would take maybe 10 minutes to walk a half mile. So if it was 57, then, you know, it was 9:57, so maybe it's 10:07 or 10:08. I have this at 10:06. It's not going to hardly change that at all. All right? So I think, you know, it makes sense now. Remember the other day when I said it doesn't make sense that that's 8:06? That to me it seems like it's after the image above, and I even said I think it's 10:06, and it was, right? Hey, Boom Hour. We all understand. However, Tyler Robinson is the shooter. Now, what kind of ammunition he used or how it happened, I guess we'll have to figure that out later. All right. Thank you for your concern. How did the shooter on his left leave a wound on his right? Yeah, well, it made a 100-degree turn. It went 90 degrees backwards, and then I made a whole video on that. Hey, thanks, Mushti Mystic. Or Mushy Mystic, not Mushti. I like Mushti, though. It's Mushti. Thank you. And again, you guys, we're having a massive lull, so if you have the ability to help support the channel, that would be great. You know, a channel that actually tries to get the real information out, not the bullshit. No, there goes my stomach. Yeah, that's way too sharp of an angle. Yeah, that's probably pretty good there. I like that one. And so, what does that mean then, I guess? And it makes a big difference. If that's 9:58 and let's say this is 10:08 over here, right here. We'll put a pin there. Maroon shorts 10:08. And he's heading the exact way that he walks later. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does he does a dry run at 10 o'clock. So earlier he goes around, he scouts around, he finds the location, you know, more so, and then he's going to do a dry run. Hey, wow, thanks so much, Sarah Francis. I hope you all do an updated timeline video with a map and video surveillance. Or you'll do pre-crime and crime scene reconstruction and post. And if you were testifying in court, I realize you have to take evidence as it comes. And yeah, well, I made one like that. Did you see it, Sarah? It was pretty good. It was. Did you see that one that I put out a while ago? Like, it was just like 4 or 5 days ago. And there isn't really anything new since that time. Let's see. It's called, that was a video. Wasn't it like a 30, how long was that video? Was it 29 minutes? Is it that one? Full route. Yeah, it's this one right here. This one. Worked up. Everything's a conspiracy. Have you seen this one right here? It's called Breaking News Surveillance. This is 9 days ago, but there's nothing. Mystery van, full route described. I show every single thing on here. Like all the way through, you know, even to the end there, but then, you know, kind of go through it. You know, one piece at a time, all the way to the end. I'll put it in the chat if you hadn't seen it, but it did get 220,000 views, so a lot of people saw that one. However, I did have that part of it out of sequence. You know, I think that's actually at, you know, 10:08, something like that. Probably took him 10 minutes to walk a half mile. Made his way over, walked by that house. I think it was... so law enforcement said he was on campus at 8:30 in the morning, and they saw him in his clothing, you know, I think the maroon shirt, etc. And I think that's when he first went to campus to look around, and then I think later he sort of did a dry run wearing the backpack and his shorts and everything, and he walked right here. So I think that this tunnel camera has a shot of him probably at around like 10:13, and he probably absolutely goes through the tunnel, comes up over here, walks over here, and then just kind of goes over into this area, maybe even walks over here for a minute, checks out and sees that the stage and everything's all set up, and then I'm just speculating here, then he probably walks out back this way again. Now, you know, when he came back out, did he go through the woods over here to test out the gun dump location and then make his way to here? And is he on camera again, you know, over here? I mean, I don't know. Did he go through here and then make his way over like this? I don't know. But I think he parked, and then, so after he does the incident, when he goes by there at 10:12, and he probably gets done with that at like maybe 10:50 or so, he's back, and then, you know, because he's doing some more scouting, looking around, and then I think he came back and he made his way to his car, and wherever his car is where he changes clothes. Maybe he's got it parked in a way that people can't see very well, and he changes his pants, his shirt, and has a backpack on, stuffs the rifle barrel down his leg, and then he starts walking from wherever his car is, but I think his car is inside the square here. And then you see him on camera walking right here. I doubt that he would want to walk a mile or something wearing pants with a rifle stuck in it. So that's why I think he was kind of over here, and it sort of matches where the car was driving at 8:23 over here. You know, is this in the area of where he parked the car? Perhaps? I don't know. I mean, hell, maybe he parked the car over in this general area. It doesn't seem like it, though, because at the end he ran this way and went this way. And I think once he... Remember when he was running right here? He probably went up right here because he came from that direction earlier. So that means he's got to make his way back up to a car. And the reason... you know, I don't know if he didn't want to go through onto this street for some reason. But he makes it down here... And this street right here has a fence on it, so that's why he didn't take that. But I'm wondering why he didn't just perhaps cross through a yard to get to here. Maybe he did something more like he put the weapon in there and he kind of then walked along here again with nothing. And then he kind of cuts across through here to get out of there. Maybe, because if he went to the street here, he wouldn't have done that. I think if he went out to the street here, he would have... let me turn off this. I think he would have gone all the way to... he would have walked here and then went to his car. Because it is sort of confusing that he came here and ran like this. It became less confusing once we realized that there was a fence blocking that street. But then you might say, well, why didn't he go from where he dumped the gun to this street here and just go straight down there and then get to his car that's somewhere in this area over here? And maybe he just didn't want to be on camera. Maybe he realized that these homes here have cameras on it. And now that he's wearing the clothing that he was wearing during the homicides, he probably, or the homicide, he went down like this. He said homicides, Grace said homicide, who else died? Who else did? And then from here walks down, and if you look over here, there isn't a lot of camera action. So maybe he probably goes through the woods over there. There was that lady that put out some video, and they showed people walking around that she lived in this house right here. So there was law enforcement were looking around in this bushy area right here. They did look in those bushes, for sure. All right, we're having another massive lull, you guys. Massive lull. We haven't hit the goal yet for tonight. So we are currently at, we still need, if we get another, let's see, 12 channel memberships, we would reach the goal, all right? Can we do that? Let's see. 12 channel memberships, you guys. That's the new goal. Plus, we got a lot of people that aren't channel members. Be a good night to do that. What's the last info on the trans lover? Huh? I don't know. Probably, I'm sure they got him in hiding. It was, who are you talking about? She's my kind of crazy, Erica Kirk commented. It was nice shooting with Tyler. What are you talking about, man? You sound like a lunatic. Let's see. Who was nice shooting? Tyler, and zipline below a wide screen projected. My Jesus, come on, my God. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's just amazing, man. What's going on? Yeah. So 12 channel memberships, you guys. That's your goal. Hey, fact check. Your name doesn't really do any justice to people who really do fact checking. You sound cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, all right? It's just you're wasting time. Yes, everybody, Erica's secretly involved in the shooting. You see, because she had this thing, and yes, they were looking into money and who was spending money, and they were going to try to doge their own organization, and oh, of course, Charlie, Kirk must have figured it out, so they told some weird kid to go up on a roof, knowing he'd probably miss with his shot, and they had a microphone. Where, are you shooting now? And then they timed their shot with the same sound that his gun was making from a different angle. No, you guys, we're not going to do the 12. Jesus, it's really hard. Hey, thanks, SFW. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Very kind, very kind. I know. It's weird though, whenever I mention it though, it doesn't happen. It's just, the zipline video was 13 years ago. Who cares? Yeah, it's just like this whole thing is just, you know, I mean, imagine being so obsessed with conspiracies that you're digging around in videos from decades ago trying to find a wording that you can then twist into something. It was Boom Hour. I'm sorry, you're confused. You're confused, Boom Hour. There's no running there because he's behind everybody that's running. It's one of the most obvious things on the planet. You don't need to keep hey, let's not keep removing. I don't care if their comments stay in here, you guys. It's okay if they make these crazy comments. I'm just going to comment towards their crazy comments, all right? So let's just leave them up, even though they're ridiculous. And the reason I want to leave them up is so that in the future you can go back and see the lunatics that were making these crazy comments. It'll be great. You know, they won't age well, as it were. Hey, look at there's Todd Tucker getting started. 11 more to go. Yeah, look at, so just in case, what a dumb name, but said, should rename your channel to Grant Hughes Repeats PR for the government. That's right, and don't forget, Justin, I actually get a paycheck from the government every time there's a case out there. It doesn't matter what case it is. It could be Joe Schmo in French Lick, Indiana. They send me a check because I look at the probable cause documents and I push out the official, quote, narrative. So I'm obviously a paid operative. You know, getting money for all these different cases, every single case that I ever cover, because I don't go with a conspiracy. I therefore work for the government, because every rational person, of course, would go for a conspiracy theory, but us crazy lunatic people who go with the factual elements of a case are obviously paid by the government to sell their narrative. Oh yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah. You just hit the same super chat button with the $ on it and select the gifted membership portion. You can give 1, 5, some people have done 10, 20. Gray is a paid operative. I love it. Well, they're not power hungry mods. They're people that are trying to get rid of the, you know, there's like, we don't do conspiracies here, but the thing is, I don't care if you type it in. I mean, it saves mod's time. The only comments I want you to get rid of are the ones that disparage the channel at the same time, like, or cut down other moderators or something like that. You can, you know, you guys, you can get rid of those, but, you know, they can have their crazy opinions. I'm just going to respond to it. Now, that's not cool, Gray. You're calling them crazy. They've really... Well, they are, man. See, here, the problem is you got a lot of people who this is like their first foray into true crime and all this kind of stuff, or a wild case that they want to believe it's a conspiracy. So when they hear somebody who literally just goes through the factual elements, they get frustrated because they want it to be something else. They literally look for it to be something else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know, Richard. We've gone over that 100 times, yeah. Yep. We've gone over that literally 1,000 times on here. We've gone over those documents. Yeah, we know all the different times, yeah. He switched back into the shorts. We see him on shorts running by. Right. Yeah, he changes clothes over here into the shorts and the maroon shirt again, I think. And then he goes over here and you see him running over here. And in his backpack then are his black pants and the black shirt, but he left the black towel wrapped up around the rifle in the woods. But the black towel was inside of his backpack when he was walking there. Gray, do you believe everything the FBI is telling the public? Just curious. Yeah, I actually, unless there's something that they tell me that doesn't make sense or fit the information, then I'm going to believe it. There's no reason not to. Why do you immediately not believe them and then look for a conspiracy that doesn't exist? What a waste of time that is. Now, if there was something that they were saying, like, for example, there's stuff that they say in the press conference that when the person jumped off the roof, that they dropped the item that they were holding. And that isn't what I see at all. I see them picking up glasses off the ground because somebody in chat mentioned it. When you look at it, it's like, yeah, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, it's obvious. He's just reaching down to pick up the glasses and then putting them on his head. Somebody else thought it was a hat or something. All right, guys, we still need, I think we need 11 more channel memberships still, gifted ones. So if you have the ability to do so, that would be great. If we get the 11, I will donate 5 memberships myself, and that'll get us up to 30. Well, it sounded like you're when you say, here's the thing, Adam. When you ask a question like that, it's being passive-aggressive, right? Because the way you're saying is, do you believe everything the because if I said, sure, I mean, what kind of a weird question is that? Like, do you believe everything they say? I mean, I start off believing everything they say, because why would they want to lie? Just like that. They've lied on political things, sure, but this is a shooting, a crime that happened. And so I look at it, and then if something shows me later that they lie, then of course I'll switch over to some other element, and I'll find out what the real information is. I mean, it is what it is. It's obvious. I think it's a sad commentary that so many people just immediately go to a conspiracy because nothing the FBI says is real. But man, I thought you got your guy in there, right? We got Kash Patel in. And now, I thought everything was good. Oh, but now it's still a conspiracy because there was something with a thing and a thing. Come on. Huh? I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, Jimmy. Sorry, man. You sent me a long soliloquy. I don't know what it means. I don't know who... They're making it sound like, man, I was going to send 50 memberships in. Come on. I think you would have if you were going to. Hey, thanks, Sarah, Francis, and Lisa Belson. Wow. That's amazing, you guys. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and gift the 5 myself, and then we'll have a bunch. Let's see. Let's see. I keep getting something went wrong message. Yeah, no, I get that all the time. I don't know if you're still out there, Jimmy, but nobody did anything. I've done it. People that are members here all the time have the message that says something went wrong. And then what you have to do is you have to sign out of YouTube or Google and sign back in again. I don't think anybody blocked you or anything like that. Yeah. I know. Send me your URL, though, to your channel, and I'll check to see. But people get that all the time. I mean, I've got it where if you go to a channel, you try to donate, do a super chat, it'll say, something went wrong. So then if you do a super thanks, it seems to work. Yeah, I don't know, but it just is what it is. So send me your channel URL, and I'll see what the deal is. What do you mean, who gave a scholarship to Tyler? Who cares? He got good grades, and he got a scholarship to a university. $30,000 worth. I think it was like a full ride, and then he decided not to go there and went to a trade school being an electrician. Right, that's scary, Chris Stew, isn't it? That you believe she believes what she's saying. I think that means she's got like schizophrenia, you know, like some kind of a, I don't know, something's happening with her. No, she's not truth seeker. She's not right, man. Let's see. And you know what's funny about you, truth seeker? Your name is so inappropriate for yourself. No, Candace Owens, she's like a, I mean, she used to be an up-and-coming like rock star in the conservative movement, and then she turned into an Alex Jones. What kind of a name is that? Anyways, Adolf. Jeez. I kind of hope Candace did lose her mind, because otherwise it's bad. Yeah, it is, because that means she's out there intentionally. I mean, when she gets those videos where she gets 5 million views, she's making, first of all, she does advertising where I'm sure she has a deal set up by number of views as how much she gets paid. Then ad revenue on that would be something like $20,000 or so on those videos. Yeah, so that means every one of the shows, every single live stream that she puts out there, it's like 20. I bet you during Charlie Kirk's, after his death, she's made way over $100,000. I mean, it's not even close. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, I think it's even more than what I just said. That would be, you talking to me, Beehuff? What difference does it make on? Well, because why is she, you know, that's why she's doing the conspiracy angle, Just Debbie. It doesn't really matter, you know, I don't begrudge, here's the thing, is I don't care if true crime people make income, like my channel makes an income. What I care about is when people make income and they're putting out false information on a daily basis, and that's their shtick. I think it's sick, okay? And you should think the same thing. 398 people watching should tell you, who? You talking about me, Beehuff? God, you're stupid. Yeah, I never get large amount of people on my live streams. I get people that watch my videos, but my live streams never seem to have. Doesn't matter, you know. It'd have to be. I have an actual alien in my backyard. I might get, 600 people. Yeah, that's just troll cities. Yeah. Oh, it's 4:05 right now, B-Huff. You know what I'm saying? Really starting to move up. I'm not sure who you're talking to. Gray Hughes seems okay to me, guys. Well, I'm not sure who you're talking to. So we're going to have to time you out there, Adolf. Maybe come back a little bit later. Hey, welcome, Chris Stew. Yeah, well, live streams videos are way better for my channel than live streams. Not in terms of getting subscribers, etc. The videos, like when we have decent nights on here, when people are supporting the channel, the revenue's better than most videos. But if I have a video that gets like 200,000 views, that one might do better than just a regular night here. Arson, apparently attempted bombing. Is that from today? Yeah, it looked like, well, it sounds like he went in there and he lit the place on fire. I don't know if he had other stuff inside of his truck. That'd be pretty crazy. I don't know how, like, that, like, Lookner covered that thing for, like, 8 hours. I mean, my God. What is there to, I mean, I guess after the initial thing, it seems like it'd be hard to do. It's Linda Howe just showed up, everybody. That's Linda Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. All right, so what the video that I put out today does is it clarifies the timeline. So you have part of the timeline. So at 8:23, his vehicle drives by right here. Now, where was it? It's interesting to think, where did the vehicle come from? Because it does drive by like this. So that means it's definitely came in on this street here. It had to have. I mean, it could have came down this, but then why would you do that? It just seems dumb, right? So that means at some point the vehicle drove down this street and then up here. And why was it doing that? That's at 8:23 in the morning. And where did it go after that? And then we know, almost like it drove over here, but then apparently it goes on to campus just after that, 7 minutes later. And then at 9:58, after his vehicle is parked somewhere, you see him walking right here again. So it seems likely that the vehicle, I mean, I could almost change this. As a matter of fact, that circle wasn't very good right there. I think a better one would be if I went up into, like, it has to be more up in this area, because he's already walking right there. So if I went like this, and then maybe, just go up to there a little bit, and like, God, jeez, you see that? I'm just going to start over on that. Let's do it again. So I'm going to say, if he's right there, his car is parked somewhere in this area right there. All right, there we go. That's where I think he parked his car, right in there, somewhere. And interestingly, he's walking here and he's driving there. So it seems like this is an in and out point here where he might have, when he was doing some scouting, be walking around. But then at the end, when he makes his final trip to the crime scene, you see him walking down the street right here. Limp, kind of with the limp and everything. And how far are you going to want to go with a barrel inside of your pants? How far are you going to want to do that? Do you think you'd want to walk a mile? I mean, no way. So I think he's over here somewhere, you know, wherever it is, and he goes this direction, and he walks down, and that's his final trip in, and then he goes down this direction like that, and he goes through the tunnel. But prior, we have at 9:58, after he'd already been there at 8:30, at 9:58 he's walking over here. And then at like 10:08 he's over here, so that means he walked all the way around. Now maybe, I mean, I just think he did it because he came in from over here. I guess it's possible he tried a little go through there and he came out, but we don't have that video. But let's just say he walked around like this, and then 10 minutes later he's walking here, and he goes in and kind of does a dry run walkthrough at 10:08 he's there, probably 10:11, 10:10 he's going into the tunnel here, comes up, and he walks over there, and maybe he's over here by, 10:25. He's just kind of scouting out the, for the last time. Okay, I'm going to jump down there. I'm going to go in over there. I know that, the stairs go up to the roof. Maybe he walks over here for a minute, looks over there. Then he comes back out, and then maybe he's out of the area at like 10:35, 10:40, and then he's back over here by 10:50-ish. Then he makes his way back over to his car, sits in there, does some last planning, etc., changes clothing, the backpack, the black shirt, the black pant, the jeans, and then he stuffs the gun down his pants, and now he's going on his last walk, and it's really kind of a slow walk because he's got the gun in his pants. Doesn't that make some sense, though? I mean, that was a dry run earlier, because he's walking exactly here, and he's even got that backpack on. Yeah, this one right here. So this is at... Oh, darn it. I can't remember. I thought that was at 11:44 or something like that. Analysis of his walk speed. Yeah, he walks really slow with the... let me see if I have that in here. Which one is this? Yeah, right there. Alright, there it was. Yeah, I think it's... Oh, man. Just cut that out. At 45, I can see it. So it's 11:45. So it's 11:45 right there. Right here, and then it's 11:49. It took him 4 minutes to get from here to there. Right here. So that took 4 minutes. If you kind of go 4 minutes, even limping, and then probably the same, just 4. Yeah, so easily he could have done from here to there in 10 minutes or so on that other walk. Hold on a second. All right. He's like one of the Walking Dead. Only a real government agent would admit that they're government agent in order to make us all believe that they're not a government agent. Jesus. I don't know, I'm trying to find the document here. I don't know, maybe we should go over these again. No, so you have that all in context now that we're talking about it. Have you seen, I don't even know who that is. I don't really care, so no. Yeah. See, let me just say something. Anybody that's coming in here that's talking about analysis, ballistics, and they believe it's another shooter, it's crap, okay? So don't send me any of those things. Now, if it's ballistic analysis, and you're going to talk about, well, maybe the bullet was a soft point, or it was the wrong kind of caliber, maybe it tumbled, something like that, I'll listen to that. But if outside of that, forget it. All right? I'm not doing it. I don't care. Can you quit mentioning the person's name, Adam? I know you're trying to sell for your buddy, but if we're going to start removing your comments if you keep mentioning some random person that I've never heard of in my life. And by the way, mods, those are the kind of ones that you remove, or ones where people are trying to sell some other YouTube theory, and we just don't do that. I don't know who that person is. I do know this, that a lot of Tom, Dick, and Harry, quote, special forces people are popping up out of the woodwork trying to throw their hat in the ring of conspiracy. It's never like, hey, let me tell you what this really could be, Oh yeah, it could be part human, that plant. Well, I would just time him out. Lisa Valenzuela. I don't want him like permanently blocked. Because I want him to come back in shame at some point and admit that they were idiots. I hear a rumor they were STD sprint. I don't know what that even is, to be honest with you. But you guys were having a massive lull again. It just seems like it just has these long periods of time. And I could be working on a video right now. I think they already have enough evidence to convict this kid 10 times. Don't care what Grok said. Well, I don't even know what could Grok even know about this? I mean, you'd have to feed it facts. So, like, if I fed it facts, it would absolutely, like, why don't we load up this document right here? How about we load up this one? I'm going to do this with ChatGPT. All right, let's do that. Let's do, yeah. I am going to load up a charging document and probable cause document. And I want you to analyze the information for discussion. You may have to use OCR on the probable cause document. All right, let's see.
Perfect. Once you upload the charging document and probable cause affidavit, I can extract text with OCR if needed, especially for scanned PDFs. Break the information down into clear sections, charges, key facts, timelines, witness statements, forensic evidence, and investigative steps. Compare and analyze details, for example, probable cause justification, legal sufficiency, strengths, weaknesses of the case. Highlight discussion points you might want to focus on: credibility issues, evidence chain, possible defenses, inconsistencies, etc. Go ahead and upload the files, and I'll start by running OCR on the probable cause document so we have the full text for analysis.
All right, let's see. Here we go. See what it says. Yeah, I do. I use a voice for it. It's kind of cool because you can converse with ChatGPT with using the voice. All right, let's see. Let's listen to all this. Did he drive around with the rifle drop in somewhere and dismantle away from his home? I don't know. I think he might have had dismantled his entire trip. Believes what? Same thing. Yeah, he thinks he might have been wearing armor. Paramount Tactical thought he was wearing body armor, and then not body armor, and then body armor again. And, you know, we still don't even have the definitive answer from somebody. It's crazy. All right, where is this? Right here. Come on. It's like frozen or something. Let me try that again.
Here's a detailed analysis and discussion breakdown of the charging document and probable cause affidavit you provided. Charges filed. Tyler James Robinson faces 7 counts. In Utah County's 4th District Court, Tyler Robinson charging document. Aggravated murder, capital felony. SS 76-5-202 allegation. Robinson intentionally killed Charlie Kirk while knowingly creating a great risk of death to others nearby. Penalty exposure, death penalty or life without parole, or 25 years to life. Felony discharge, firing, 3 to 3. 5 to 6. Tampering with a witness, F3. 5. Ordering roommate to delete incriminating texts. 6. Instructing roommate to remain silent if questioned by police. Violent offense committed in the presence of a child, class a misdemeanor. SS 76-3-203.10 children were within sight and earshot. Aggravated victim, presence of child. Key probable cause evidence. 1. Surveillance and crime scene UVU cameras show a white male wearing dark clothes, sunglasses, hat, entering campus at 11:51 a.m. Suspect walked with an unusual gait, consistent with hiding a rifle. Video shows him climbing onto a rooftop, crawling into position, firing, then fleeing with an item consistent with a rifle. Tyler Robinson charging document. Police followed his path to a wooded area where they found a bolt-action Mauser 98 30-06 rifle, wrapped in a towel with a mounted scope. 1 spent round, 3 unfired rounds, all engraved with memes and political messages. Notices bulge out. What's this? Hey fascist, catch. Arrows Blachow, anti-fascist, partisan song. If you read this, you are gay. LMAO. DNA matches to Robinson on. Rifle trigger. 2 unfired cartridges. Fired casing the towel. 2. Digital and witness evidence. Roommate produced messages from Robinson before and after the shooting. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. I am the shooter. I'm sorry. Discussion about retrieving rifle. Fear of leaving prints. Mention of engraving bullets. Request to delete their exchange and avoid speaking to police. Tyler Robinson charging document. Parents noticed resemblance in media images and confronted him. Father believed rifle was the one gifted to Robinson. Robinson implied guilt, told parents he couldn't go to jail, considered suicide. Eventually surrendered with family friend present. 3. Physical evidence at home. Casing with similar etchings found in his residence. Targets with bullet holes recovered. Strengths of the case. Overwhelming forensic linkage. DNA on rifle, ammo, towel. Surveillance video timeline is detailed, from campus entry to rooftop positioning to escape. Confession by implication. Admissions to parents and roommate plus digital messages are highly incriminating. Political targeting enhancement supported by motive statements. Had enough of his hatred. Potential defense. Discussion points. Mens rea mental state. Defense may argue diminished capacity, mental health struggles, or political heat of passion to reduce from capital murder to a lower degree. First Amendment issues. The political targeting enhancement could raise constitutional arguments. Defense may claim it punishes political motive, rather than just the act. Suppression motions. Defense might seek to exclude roommates' Discord screenshots or texts if chain of custody is challenged. Death penalty decision. Prosecutors have not yet formally announced whether they'll seek death, but charging as a capital felony leaves it on the table. Key discussion points. Premeditation evidence. Messages show planning over a week, strongly supporting intent. Symbolism of bullet etchings. Raises questions about ideology, trolling culture, or desire to leave a manifesto. Risk to bystanders. Prosecutors emphasize Kirk's proximity to others. Potential for multiple casualties could aggravate sentencing. Roommate's role. Cooperated with police, but defense may argue bias or pressure. Public political impact. This case is likely to ignite debates on free speech, political violence, campus security, and firearm access. Would you like me to create a timeline visualization, minute by minute from campus entry to arrest, so it's easier to see the flow of events? That could help with your discussion or video coverage.
Yeah, let's see. It knows I do YouTube videos. That's kind of creepy, isn't it? Like, I didn't say anything related to that, and it seemed to know, right? Ah, yeah. I don't know. What is your opinion on the guilt of Tyler Robinson? What holes are there? I just said that he did dry runs and everything. I've just done that. I've already done that. I've already answered the question earlier, the Joey. Jesus. Anyways, let's go. Here we go. I just went over that whole thing that you just said in your question.
Short answer, based on what you uploaded, the state's case looks very strong. There's independent video, physical forensic evidence, and the defendant's own messages, admissions, that all point the same direction.
Parents.
That said, there are a few attackable seams a good defense will probe, where the case looks strongest. Video sequence plus location evidence. U-view cameras track a white male in dark clothing from campus entry 11:51 a.m. onto a rooftop into a prone position, shot fired at approximately 12:23. Then flight. Investigators then trace that path to a wooded area where the rifle is found. This is a coherent, time-anchored chain of movement tied to the scene. Tyler Robinson charging document. Forensics on the weapon, ammo towel. DNA consistent with Robinson reportedly on the trigger. A fired casing, 2 unfired rounds, and the towel wrapping the rifle.
Yeah.
That puts his biology on multiple items from different surfaces. Hard to hand-wave as mere transfer.
Yeah,
Tyler Robinson charging document. Admissions and digital trail. Note under roommate's keyboard. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and text acknowledging I am the shooter plus talk about retrieving the rifle, leaving it in a bush, and asking the roommate to delete the exchange. That's premeditation plus consciousness of guilt. Tyler Robinson charging document. Statements to parents implying responsibility and later, surrender. Tyler Robinson charging document. Motive and enhancements. Messages and family statements anger at Kirk's speech support the political targeting enhancement. And the child presence aggravators. Crowd with children visible. Tyler Robinson charging document. Likely defense angles. Holes to test. None of these look fatal on their face, but they're the places I'd expect motions and cross-examination. Authentication and chain of custody for messages. Were the Discord texts forensically extracted from devices, or are they screenshots the roommate showed police? Defense will push on manipulation risk, metadata continuity, and whether full message threads and device images corroborate the snippets.
That's what conspiracy.
Tyler Robinson charging document. Expect subpoenas for platform logs and device-level extractions to nail this down. Surveillance identification gap. Affidavit notes the suspect kept his head down, and face shots weren't clean. Identity on video relies on clothing, gait interpreted as concealing a rifle, movement path, and later admissions, not a classic Face ID capture. Defense may call gait inference speculative and argue it's not Robinson visible on the roof. Tyler Robinson charging.
Yeah, but hold on a second. But his parents recognized him from the surveillance and wearing the same clothing as the shooter. So add that into your logic.
Good point. The parental recognition of their son in the surveillance images is a major reinforcing element and actually shores up one of the few weak spots I mentioned earlier, identity from video. Here's how that changes the analysis. Updated guilt assessment. Identity evidence gets stronger. One of the main defense avenues I flagged was that the surveillance footage alone doesn't clearly show his face. It relied on clothing, gait, and circumstantial linkage. But now add, mother and father both said the shooter looked like their son. Father also recognized the rifle as the one Robinson had been gifted. When confronted, Robinson made statements that implied guilt. I can't go to jail, I just want to end it, and later surrendered voluntarily. Tyler Robinson charging document. This closes the ID gap. Jurors are likely to find parents' recognition highly credible, especially combined with a rifle match and DNA hits.
And him admitting
it turns what could have been a soft identity argument into a solid chain. Video, parental recognition, rifle recognition, DNA match, admissions.
See, like ChatGPT doesn't get everything, and then if you say, "Hey, what about this?" it goes, "Oh shit," you know, like then it logically changes it the way it should be. You know?
Remaining holes now narrower. Ballistics confirmation. We still don't have a lab report confirming the projectile came from that specific rifle,
right,
though all circumstantial evidence points to it. Mental state, mitigation, defense may still argue mental health, ideological extremism, or diminished capacity to try to avoid a capital sentence. Digital message chain of custody. Still a possible technical challenge. They will want full metadata from phone Discord servers to prove authenticity and timing. Enhancement challenges. The First Amendment issue on political targeting remains a likely appellate issue, but that wouldn't affect guilt on the underlying murder charge. Bottom line now. With parental recognition added, this case moves from very strong to overwhelming. The remaining battles are not about guilt innocence, but about degree of punishment, death penalty versus LWOP, which aggravators
like
survive
Koberger.
political targeting, presence of child. Whether some statements' evidence can be suppressed, messages, search warrant fruits. If this goes to trial, the state will present a wall of converging evidence, video, forensic science, parental ID, digital confession, and physical evidence. Unless there's a surprise about contamination or coerced statements, a jury conviction on at least the top 2 counts seems very likely. Would you like me to build a count-by-count evidence matrix, listing what evidence supports each charge and what the defense could attack? That might make it easier for you to discuss case strengths, weaknesses on air?
use bro mode, discrediting, discussing the concept of a man in a bush being the real shooter, or perhaps coming through a trap door. All right, here we go.
All right, bro. Let's talk about this mystery man in a bush or trapdoor sniper theory in full-on roast mode. The man in the bush theory. Bro, come on. We've got video of Robinson entering campus, climbing the rail, crawling on the roof, firing the shot, and running away with a rifle. Then cops follow the path and, surprise, find his rifle wrapped in a towel with his DNA on the trigger. But yeah, sure, some random woodland goblin snuck out of the shrubbery, grabbed Grandpa's $2,000 scoped Mauser, did the deed, and then politely wrapped it back up and left it where Robinson said he left it. That's like saying Bigfoot stole your Uber Eats order and left you a nice Yelp review. The trapdoor sniper. Bruh, what trapdoor? This isn't Scooby-Doo. There's no secret assassin popping up from under the UVU Plaza with a silenced Mosin Nagant and vanishing into the sewers. The affidavit even says you gotta climb a railing to get to the roof, and the video shows exactly that. If there was a trapdoor, the police would have found it. Trust me, they had about 50 guys scouring that roof like it was an episode of CSI Orem. Reality check. Look, if you want to spin a wild defense theory, you gotta at least account for the text saying I'm the shooter, the parents recognizing him, the DNA on everything but the kitchen sink, the matching engraved ammo at his house, him literally saying I left the rifle wrapped in a towel. Trying to blame some imaginary bush sniper just makes the jury think you're gaslighting them. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, ignore the confession, the DNA, the rifle, the surveillance, and the parents. Our client is the victim of an extremely elaborate towel planting conspiracy. Verdict on the alternate shooter theory. Bro mode verdict. 0/10th believability. The only thing that came out of the bush that day was Robinson's case getting even harder to defend. Want me to do a side-by-side roast of the state's narrative versus a bush shooter defense theory? Like a mock courtroom argument where I play both sides? Could be a killer segment for your channel.
Well, they claim... a killer segment for my channel. They claim that the trap... let's see. There is a visible door on the ground, but they claim the shooter came to the ground next to the stage. They claim the shooter came up and fired, and Tyler Robinson is just some sort of patsy. Yeah, this is good shit. Watch.
Oh, okay. Now we're going full deep state patsy with a stage trapdoor assassin theory. Let's break this down bro style, but also stay grounded in the facts from the probable cause doc. The stage door shooter theory. So the idea is, shooter wasn't on the roof. Instead, popped up like a stagehand through a door next to Kirk's setup. Took the shot point blank, then just poof, vanished like a magician's assistant. Bro, this would be a whole different crime scene. There'd be powder residue all over the stage, people seeing a gunman standing feet away, zero need for a 160-yard sniper shot with a scoped bolt action. But the affidavit says they found gravel depressions on the rooftop matching a prone shooter position, captured surveillance of a man climbing up, low crawling, taking the shot, then running off the roof, and followed that path to the exact spot where the rifle was ditched. Tyler Robinson charging document?
That's what we say all the time.
If there's a trapdoor assassin, then he A. left the rooftop footprints, B. stole Robinson's gun, C. wore Robinson's clothes, D. matched Robinson's DNA, and E. texted Robinson's roommate confessing. Bro, that's not a frame job, that's Mission Impossible with a DNA replicator. The patsy narrative. Tyler Robinson is a patsy only works if police fake the DNA on multiple separate items, trigger, casing, towel, ammo. His parents hallucinated recognizing him on video, and Tyler, for some reason, pretended to confess in text messages and to his parents just to help the real killer get away. That's the most committed patsy of all time, bro. If this is a false flag, they really went all out with the engraving on the bullets, memes and all. That's a very personalized frame job. Bro mode take. Bro, this isn't Lee Harvey Oswald with a magic bullet. This is a guy who told his roommate in real time I did it, here's where the rifle is. I hope I can get it back before they find my prints. You don't get a better cell phone than that. The door next to the stage is just a door, not a cartoon villain hatch. And blaming a phantom shooter just makes the jury think your defense lawyer has been binging too much X-Files. Want me to cook up a mock closing argument from the prosecutor destroying the trapdoor patsy theory in court? Like a roast for your channel? That could be gold.
That drones hovering around did the shooting. Oh, man.
Alright, bro. Now we're in full Call of Duty UAV strike territory. Let's break the killer drone theory down in bro mode, but with real-world physics and what's in the affidavit. The drone shooter idea. The concept. Someone flies a drone into the event. It's packing a rifle or some kind of weapon, It takes the shot at Charlie Kirk.
We don't miss
Tyler
it,
Robinson
Derek.
is
We
just the
don't miss it.
patsy.
It's stupid.
Sounds slick for a
Okay,
Hollywood
it's
thriller, but here's
idiotic.
why it doesn't line up with the real evidence. One weapon type versus drone capability. The weapon used was a bolt action. 30-06 rifle with a scope. It's long, heavy, and kicks like a mule.
There is video
Consumer
of
drones
taking
don't have
the
the
shot,
lift,
Derek.
recoil control, or stability to fire even A-22 LR accurately, let alone A-30-06 at 160 yards. Every time you rack that bolt, the drone would flip like a leaf blower.
Yeah. Anyways, it's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So you got people like Derek's room in there. People miss the point of a patsy. You know, they talk Tyler into dropping a gun somewhere. A real shooter goes onto the roof. No video of Tyler or him taking a shot. Why is that? That's a huge red flag. Hey, listen. There is video of him. They describe the video. We just haven't seen it yet. They describe it. They see him walking up the stairs. I've gone over this 17 million times at this point. Okay, we're going to do it again. This is 17,000,001 right now. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Here we go. This is how it went. Here's the building right there, right? There was a camera right here on that building. And as a matter of fact, if you'll watch this, it might wake your brain up a little bit. You see that right there? There's the 360-degree camera. Look at the angles that thing can see. It can watch from right there. Because it's sticking out, it can see all the way over to there. And it can see, because it's right there, all the way over to right there. You see that? Like, I mean, even more than that. Right over there it can see too. Okay? So look at this. That camera on that roof right there was able to watch Tyler Robinson, who his parents identified, walking through here and then through a door right there. Then on that same camera, you can see the black figure making his way up the stairs and limping his way over to there. And that was at 12:15. And then at 12:17, he steps over the wall right there. Okay? Yeah, they're just not showing it to us. It's obvious. Derek, just wake up, man. Okay? So right down in this area right here, he crouches down and assembles the rifle. And we know that because after being down there, he doesn't have a limp anymore, and he runs in this direction over here. And then he makes his way over here, and then he starts scooting along the roof a little bit until he's right there, right in this position, and then fires. I even have the tent set up exactly where it is. Boom. Right there, and it hit Charlie Kirk in the neck. Then they see him on video stand up from this corner right here and run in this direction like this. And then he runs around off the edge of the roof here, and when he gets in this section, the roof's so white you can't see the shadows anymore because it blows it out. Then he goes around and lets himself down right here, jumps off the roof there. Then guess what he does? He runs over here, and from right here, we can look right up, and that camera is right up in there. It's watching. And he runs over here, and he crosses the street, and he's right over here. Now, look where my yellow pin is. That's where law enforcement was looking into the woods. You know, he went in right over in this area. So we're going to go back to the camera again. And you can see from right there, you can watch that entire area. You can see him walking past each of the trees, and then he disappears. That's how law enforcement knew that to check those woods over there. And lo and behold, they find the black towel wrapped around the rifle. And guess whose DNA was on the rifle? Tyler Robinson's. Okay, so it's pretty clear case. It's not one, and you'll see it later. And don't say because you haven't seen it, you can't believe it. That's exactly right. They never give us every single piece of information they have. But this camera right here obviously films the entire thing. Him coming up, they describe it absolutely perfectly. Let's look at it right here. Watch this. This is in the probable cause document. Suspect entered the Losi Center building through a set of doors on the southeast corner of the Losi Center building. And that was at 12:02. At approximately 12:15 hours, the suspect observed walking up the stairs that lead to the common area adjacent to the Losi building, meaning this area right here. This is a common area. You literally can walk up the stairs and walk around. There's a fence here and a wall there. All right? This is all on camera. That's why it's in this document here. That's how they know it exists. All right? And then at 12:17 hours, the suspect climbed over the short wall and appeared to crouch down on the north side of the wall on the rooftop. Well, that's the short wall. Watch when I north-south orient this. This right here is a wall, and he's on the north side of that wall right here. Okay? And then, in that position, the suspect climbed over the short wall and appeared to crouch down on the north side of the wall. At approximately 12:22, which is 5 minutes later, the suspect stood up and started running across the rooftop of the Losi building. The notable limp from previous surveillance was absent. The suspect ran to the west side of the rooftop and appeared to scoot along the rooftop around area as he got closer to the edge of the rooftop. Yeah, so from here he runs over, then he goes over here and he scoots along the area until he's about right there where he has just passed this little point and still has a shot. All right? I just don't understand. Like, what I'm telling you right now is absolutely a reality that they have this video. 100% they have this video. They can see it. No, I do have to be sarcastic, P7326. I do have to be sarcastic. And this is just the way I sound, okay? It's dry humor. It is what it is. I'm sorry it embarrasses you because you probably believe this garbage that your conspiracy nutter friends that you watch put out. But I'm going to go ahead and just talk the way I want to talk because it's my show. And if you don't want to watch the show, you don't have to watch it. My videos are totally different. When I'm doing the show, I have to deal with nut jobs who show up to my show. When I make a video, I just put the video out. I'm not talking to any specific person at all. I'm just making a video. When I'm doing the live streams, people always say, "Gray, when you're on Ashley Banfield, you're so much nicer." Well, you know why? Because there's no morons blabbing complete garbage in the chat when I'm on somebody's show. When I'm a guest on Vinny's show, there isn't these words coming up on the screen that I'm having to read. And when I'm on Ashley Banfield's show, there aren't people texting and commenting in there that I'm going to read, etc., etc., etc. You get it? I mean, isn't that obvious? It's just the way it is, all right? Man. Unreal. Unreal. Yeah, so let me go back to what we were just looking at here. So when we're looking at this, we were just right there at the point where he goes to the north side at approximately 12:22, so he had 5 minutes or so to assemble the rifle. It only takes a minute. The notable limp from previous surveillance was absent. Suspect ran to the west side of the rooftop and appeared to scoot along the rooftop area as he got closer to the edge of the rooftop. At approximately 12:22 hours, the suspect laid down, so he might have still been standing up and just kind of scooting along until he got a good position, but the suspect laid down in a position consistent with a prone shooting position near the edge of the rooftop. So when he's scooting along, maybe he was on his knees, maybe he was standing there and just kind of slightly moving over. Let's see. And then it said near the edge of the rooftop and appeared to be facing west in the direction of the courtyard area. The rooftop of the Losi Center building overlooks the courtyard, etc. And right here it says at approximately 12:23, Charlie Kirk was shot. At approximately 12:23 hours, the surveillance shows that the suspect stood up suddenly from the edge of the rooftop and sprinted to the north on the rooftop. And that's the part that we have got to see from, they showed us this part. So doesn't it just follow that because this is describing the video that we have seen perfectly, that the other portion is the part that we haven't seen publicly? Doesn't that just make sense? I mean, that's common sense, right? Absolutely should make sense. Now, if you're watching this channel, if you could please help support the channel, we only have tonight and tomorrow, and then we have our donation night at the end of the month. So my channel relies on the people watching. If you think I do a good job and put out factual information and you like there is an autopsy, my God, people. Just because you haven't seen it yet, there's no autopsy. But anyways, I need your guys' support when we do these shows, so if you have the ability to, that would be great. Oh, really? The first inauguration of... She was pretty cool just doing the show on the, like, on her regular podcast. We, you know, just hanging out. She has a dog that's in the background. Right. We've only got one coffee in here tonight. All right, and then it says, at approximately 12:24 hours, the suspect ran north across the Campus Drive Road. Suspect appeared to be carrying an item whose identity is not clear from the surveillance. I mean, they're saying that they, you know, he's carrying an item, but they don't know if it was a gun at that time. The area to the north of campus, but the other charging documents says it's consistent. I mean, it's obvious that he's carrying a gun because in the woods, they found the very gun that he was carrying in the same black towel. Yeah, so Lisa Valenzuela just put up the coffee link there. See if we can get some of those. Let's see. Not on the staircase. What do you mean not on the staircase? I mean, let me ask you something. Why are there people out there that because you haven't seen the video, therefore it's sketch or something, you know, like sus. We don't get to see everything. I mean, that's just the way it is. They keep stuff for trial. They're going to show it. They're going to, you know, there might be a time where the FBI does sort of a presentation of what they have, but I don't know, man. This is a case that's going to trial, and, you know, had Tyler Robinson been, you know, taken out or did something to himself, I think then we would see these presentations and we get to see all the evidence that they had, etc. Except the conspiracy theories would pretend that somebody else took him out, or, you know, just come up with some crazy story. Oh, of course they had to take him out because he had the real story. Well, of course, it would think it was even stupider, neutral. You know. Did anybody hear what I just said? We're trying to get to the end of the month here. If you guys could help support the channel, that would be great. Yes, on my show, I actually ask for people to send in support because we have lots of stuff we got to do as well as supporting the channel. We have a scholarship fund that we've given $18,000 to students. We've given over $100,000 to a DNA fund. We've given $30,000 plus to 3 different companies: RAIN, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and Texas EquiSearch. So that's almost probably 100,000 there. All right. So the way we do that is by try to bring in as much income as possible, ad revenues, super chats, everything, PayPal's, and then at the end of the month, we usually donate thousands of dollars to various true crime related charities out of the income from the channel, as well as putting out factual information in cases. So since January of 2020, we've donated $262,000, which is a house in some places. And it's crazy, right? So if you guys could help support the channel, it doesn't mean you got to send in 20 or 30 or something. $2, $5, whatever, tipping the channel, everything helps out. All right? It's weird when you bring it up and people just go, the hell with you, Gray. I'm just going to watch and screw you. It's like, come on. It's weird. Running seems too quiet for being just seconds. What? Just saying the camera video from... Hi, Gray. The just saying camera video, I don't even know what that means, from him running seems too quiet to bring that seconds before the shot. No mic or crowd to be heard. I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, man. Just saying. Don't even know what that means, man. I don't watch other people, YouTube. You know, unless somebody goes, hey, Gray, and I watch like 30 seconds and go, oh, I know where they're going. I'm not watching now. See, here's the thing. I don't continue watching when it's immediately a conspiracy theory video. Because there's nothing in it that's going... You know, there's these people that really... they do a conspiracy theory and they're wearing a suit and they try to make it seem like they're just really onto something the way they present it. And those are the scary ones, because those are the ones people think are really giving them the reality. The truth is Tyler Robinson is the shooter, and he's the one that killed Charlie Kirk. He admitted doing it. It's a crystal clear case to rational-minded people. If you're not rational-minded, it won't be clear to you. Hey, thanks, Joseph, for the PayPal. Yeah, he is the killer, though, right? So everybody says, oh, he's innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, yada, 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 yada. We've heard this a million times, everybody. I can say what I think. And I think Tyler Robinson is 100% the shooter in this case. And it's obvious. I mean, it's so obvious, it's almost embarrassing that anybody would think otherwise. And maybe that's it, Gray. It's so obvious. See, they wanted to make it look obvious, Gray, and that's the thing. My God, you guys. He told his... Yeah, you know what? So we're going through this one right here. And so let's go to the other document that we were already looking at. Maybe I will ask about that on the chat GPT. Hey, the Rock Island. I'll say whatever I want on here. Thank you very much. Okay. Charlie Kirk was wearing a microphone on his shirt. People say that was a secret explosive device, or shot him, or a mini gun of some sort.
Okay, bro. Now we're deep into the 4chan meet Scooby-Doo zone. Let's unpack that Charlie Kirk's mic was actually a secret weapon idea in straight-up bro mode, but with real-world logic.
So I guess nobody heard what I just said a minute ago.
Logic.
Unbelievable.
The shirt mic equal to explosive device. Minigun theory. The claim. The small lavalier or clip-on mic on Kirk's shirt was actually a hidden bomb, or some kind of micro minigun. That's what killed him, not a sniper. One what a lavalier mic actually is. Those little mics you see on every talk show, TED Talk, and YouTube video weigh a few grams and run off a coin cell or small transmitter. They're designed to pick up sound, not send out Death Star beams. There is no known clip-on minigun tech. Even the CIA isn't fitting a 30-06 into a lav mic, bro. 2 injury pattern versus device theory. Affidavit says Kirk was answering a question. A loud gunshot was heard, and he was struck in the neck. Everyone in the crowd heard a shot, not an explosion or a whirring minigun noise. If it were an explosive on his shirt, you'd see burns, shrapnel, and injuries to his torso, and the people directly next to him. Instead, trajectory described is consistent with a rifle round from a distance. 3 physical evidence at the scene. Police recovered a spent rifle round, a rifle, and no explosive residue at the stage. Medical examiners doing a report. Nothing in the PC statement says device on shirt or internal detonation. In fact, police specifically focused on the rooftop sniper position, because that's where the sound and evidence pointed. Tyler Robinson charging document. 4 common sense test. If this was a hidden device on Kirk, who planted it? Why would Robinson be texting about his rifle, his prints, and engraving memes on bullets?
It's fake.
You'd have to believe. Robinson patsied himself,
Right.
engraved meme ammo for a rifle he didn't fire, left his DNA on a gun he didn't use,
patsied
and texted his
himself.
roommate a fake confession, all while some mystery team slipped a bomb mic on Kirk's shirt. That's a bigger conspiracy than the moon landing hoaxers dream of, bro. Bro mode verdict. Lavalier mics equal to microphones. Bolt-action rifles equal to guns. The evidence shows a gun on a roof, not a gadget on Kirk. Trying to argue the mic was a minigun is like saying your AirPods are actually surface-to-air missiles.
I just wonder
It'll
that
get you
you
laughs on a
accelerate
podcast, but zero traction in court. Want me to make a side-by-side graphic for your show? Actual mic versus fantasy micro minigun to visually roast this theory?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, that's what I'm saying. See, I think, like, when I listen to ChatGPT, I think similarly. I mean, I know it sounds like, oh, you're like a robot, but I use the same logic. It's the same, exact same thing. I mean, sometimes it's almost kind of scary. I can't remember, a while back, it used the exact same wording that I used. It was pretty weird. So, you know. You're not timed out, Joey. But Joey, you're the one that you just email me all the time with conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory video because you believe in these people. Here's the reality. Naive people believe those people. Okay? That's just the truth. People that are just sort of new to all this, or they're always a conspiracy theorist, they're the ones that believe all this crap. It's almost getting... it's scary how many people are like that. So I'm not really sure what to tell you, but you know what was crazy, you guys? Did you guys watch the Ryder Cup today? I mean, my God, the United States was so far behind. They were down by 7. I mean, just getting blown out. They had no chance of winning. But man, they made it all the way to they got it to where, like, you know, it was 15-13. So basically, if they had just won one other match and tied another one, they would have actually won. I mean, it was amazing. It was probably one of the best comebacks you've ever seen. It's crazy. Hey, thanks, Sarah Francis. Somebody heard. All right. I say park your Scooby-Doo mystery van and put your cuckoo back in the damn clock. And daily on... Let's see. Oh, that's what you say over there? You say it daily on Candace's comment section. You need to make a t-shirt that says, this, at Gray Hughes investigates. What would I say? Is there more to it? No. You need to make a t-shirt that says this, at Gray Hughes investigate. Actually, that's not a bad idea. It just says, at Gray Hughes investigate. Yeah. And then people go look it up. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at this one again, though. Just at the part right here, the surveillance investigation. Yeah, at the moment of the shot, so this is really important right here. A UVU police officer at the moment of the shot was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as, I think he was on, I think I've seen the picture of that guy. He was on that same area, you know, that one video out where you hear the loud sound? As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats, believing the shot came from a rifle because of its sound. So this officer, who is probably very familiar with guns, heard what he believed to be a rifle, and then he looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards, but it's really only about 135, 140, away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing and then drop to the roof only slightly below. The UVU officer climbed over the railing and down onto the roof. He then walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor between the position and Mr. Kirk's seat. He also noticed markings in the ground. Now, the conspiracy channels won't talk about this right here. They don't ever bring this stuff up. He also noticed markings in the gravel rooftop consistent with a sniper having lain in the roof. Impressions on the gravel potentially left by the elbows, knees, and feet of a person in a prone shooting position. And those are right here. Look at this. And this is exactly what that officer saw when he came up, right there. So you see that? That one? And then he was looking at that. You know, feet are probably back in there. Maybe, I don't know if that's, you know, it's hard to tell the distance here. But that's it. That's the spot. And then another one right here. And then another one right there. So right over the edge, this drops down like 10 feet to this area here. See that? And then police reviewed, and then because that officer found that position, police reviewed surveillance from the camera covering the roof. Well, I just showed you what that was. That camera that's covering that roof is right here. Right there. That's this camera right there that's covering the roof. And then again, if you were wondering what the hell I'm pointing at, if we go down to the ground here, there is the 360-degree camera that does like 6 to 7 frames, 6 to 8 frames a second. All right, it's right there. So that camera was filming the roof from right there. And that's what they're talking about. So it really could see all around like this. See? Just from a lower position. Right there. Just like that. And it recorded an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing. So look at you guys. It's actually telling you right here what it says. All right? I mean, it literally says, it showed an individual dressed in dark clothing cross the railing from the public walkway and drop onto the rooftop at approximately 12:15 p.m. Now, we know from the other document, at 12:17, he stepped over the other fence. Although the individual moved out of the camera's view for a short time, that was at 12:17 when it jumped over the wall, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof and then lowering and then low crawling. Okay, so that's what he was doing. He was on his knees crawling, or low crawling, whatever the hell that means, to the area the UVU officer recognized as where the suspect sniper had dropped into a prone shooting position. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof to the northeast. So even though, see, here's what's going to happen, you guys. I'm going to tell you, you're going to have you're going to have footage that shows the whole thing, but because the nutjob conspiracy theorists won't see the flash of a muzzle here, they're going to say that he wasn't the shooter. That's how ridiculous these people are. Okay? To me, it's just absolutely obvious. Okay? He came up here, went over here, and ran over to there, and he fired, and it's all going to be seen on video where he stands up again, and he runs across the roof over here, just like I'm showing you, and he runs around right over here, turns to the right, comes over here to this corner, then puts the rifle on the roof, grabs it, then drops down, then he runs away. It's all seen on camera, and then he goes into the woods, and he puts the same rifle wrapped in the black towel that's been described, and law enforcement from this same camera is able to track him to the woods, and they went and checked the woods. Lo and behold, the rifle's in there, wrapped in a black towel. Now, if that wasn't bad enough for, and his DNA was on the trigger, his DNA apparently was on a screwdriver on the roof that wasn't mentioned here, it was on a towel, it was on the rest of the rifle, etc. But if that wasn't bad enough, he has his own text messages where he said he left the rifle in the woods wrapped in a black towel, or in a towel, he said. And it's wrapped in a towel, and he'd been trying to get it back. And it made him nervous, and he had to leave it there. And then he even mentioned what was engraved on the bullet that was fired. How come that's not enough for a lot of you? You know what you'll hear? It's just too clean. He looks too guilty. Well, sometimes that's just the way it is, man. These people aren't geniuses. You know, he might have been a really smart kid. He obviously planned the shooting out. He forgot to plan the escape. I don't know, man. I don't know what the bullet looks like. Are you joking or what? Let's see. The evidence will be presented at trial. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But why are you guys watching those people? I mean, it's weird to me. You keep saying, hey, well, these other guys, they think this. Well, why are you watching it? They're just, you know what you're doing? You're wasting 20 minutes of your time because unless they're showing you the stuff that we're talking about here and putting it in order, they're telling you a bunch of crap. Yeah, it's too simple, man. Yeah, it's just too... request what? They're not going to release any of this footage unless they do a presentation. None of this will be released until trial, I think. It'd be a shock. Mm-hmm. I'm just checking to see if whiskey boots... Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, actually, I don't see it. Whiskey boots. Yeah, you said you sent in a channel membership. I don't know. Maybe it'll come in somehow. Don't know. Low crawling. What's funny about that? Man, you guys like laugh at weird shit. I guess it was kind of like military crawling. He was kind of scooting along. But I mean, I guess if he was low crawling, wouldn't you see a bunch of like scuffed up dirt in here? Maybe that's what this is and things like that. Don't know. Hey, thanks, Sarah Beth. Yeah, I was going to say your last name like the old dude. Been watching from the bushes. Still love you, Gray. Thanks for all you do. Hey, thank you. Why no exit wound? Probably good explanation. I'd probably say, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought of asking that before, but I don't want to ask it just because of people like you. That are just, you need to keep, just focusing in on the exit wounds and, it's crazy. I mean, I guess Martin Luther King was shot similarly, and there's no exit wound on him either. Understanding of legal, prosecutorial, or litigation process. No, it's not the whole world. Just the crazy people who are really loud. The Joey. Yeah. It's just the really loud, crazy people. Yeah, let's do it. Some conspiracy theorists think because there is no exit wound, on the back of Charlie Kirk's neck, it has to be caused some other way, because they claim that a bullet fired from a 30 rifle 100% has to go through the neck, and that there is no other logical explanation. Now it'll probably go, yeah, well, that's a good point, something like that.
Got it. This is one of those ballistics myths that sounds convincing if you've never been around trauma medicine or seen rifle wounds, but it's not actually true. Let's break it down in bro mode, but with actual wound ballistics science. Myth: a 30 to 06 at that distance will always create an exit wound. Reality: nope, not even close to always. High-velocity rifle rounds usually do exit, but whether they do depends on angle, tissue type, yaw, fragmentation, and what they hit internally. The human neck has dense structures, vertebrae, carotid arteries, airway, and is a narrow space. If a bullet strikes bone or yaws sideways, it can dump all its energy and stay in the body. Examples:
Boom.
JFK
That's
autopsy,
my idea.
6.5 millimeters Carcano round, high velocity, small entry wound at the back, exited at the throat. In other cases with the same ammo, rounds stopped in soft tissue or shattered on bone. Hunting incidents: plenty of documented cases of 30 to 06 and 308 rounds staying in a torso or neck when they hit heavy bone. Factors that affect exit wounds: bullet construction. Soft point or hollow point bullets expand dramatically, dump energy faster, and are less likely to exit than full metal jacket FMJ. Yaw and fragmentation. A bullet that turns sideways, yaws, or breaks up can behave unpredictably and stop sooner. Impact angle and path. A diagonal path through thick muscle and bone is much longer than a straight path. More chance of the bullet staying inside. Intermediate barriers. Clothing, mic, lanyards, even the table can affect deformation. The affidavit doesn't say what exact bullet type was in the 30 to 06, only that it had engraved messages. We don't know if they were FMJ, soft point, match rounds, etc. without the ME's report. You cannot assume an exit wound. Why conspiracists grab this? They think big rifle equal to giant hole out the back. That's movie physics, bro. Real-world shootings are messy. Even a small handgun round sometimes exits. Even a powerful rifle sometimes doesn't. The absence of an exit wound is not evidence of a bomb, drone, or mic gun. Bro mode verdict. No exit wound not equal to must be a conspiracy. It just means the bullet dumped its energy, hit bone, fragmented, or followed a weird path.
Can I get a boom?
Until the medical examiner releases the autopsy, there's literally no way to say 100% would exit. If you want to roast this myth on your show, you can literally show ballistic gel tests of 30 to 06 rounds stopping short in 10 to 12 inches of tissue when they yaw or expand. It's a perfect visual debunk. Want me to outline a quick on-camera explainer with visuals you can show to debunk the exit wound myth for your viewers?
Give me a link to one of the videos that shows that. Let's see. What do you think of that? See what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to tell you. I think it's very likely...
Here's one video that addresses...
Hey, look at that's that same guy. We're not the same. Oh my God. What's happening here?
Ever since the notion has been put forward.
Oh yeah, so I might have this guy on my show actually. Here, let me hit the YouTube. Yeah, Matt Kester. Yeah, I talked to him. He was going to be on tonight, but I had to do that other story and go over this too. But yeah, I'm not sure when he made. Well, he made this today. That's funny. They put this out here today. What Charlie Kirk's wound tells us about a 30-06 ballistic and human anatomy. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, go check out Matt Kester's video there. I'm not going to play it here, but I was going to have him on, talk about some of those experiments he's done. He's done stuff with the black towel wrapped around a gun. He put the gun down. He had a kid put the barrel down the pants after separating it. It looked really similar. He has it in the front, but I think it was in the back. And then he also disassembled a 30-06 and put it back together again, and or like a disassembled, put together in a minute. So after you took it out of your pants, it would just take like a minute or so to put it together. Probably even to do it quicker. Yeah, the thumbnail. That's pretty funny that ChatGPT has already picked up his video. Does he actually go out and shoot with the gel? Let's see. Try this dog up there. Oh, man. Yeah, he was... I mean, we've talked for a while. He's more like how I do stuff, just kind of logic. Probably thinking of having him on... Like, I was going to have him on today, but I wanted to go over the shooting in Michigan, and then go over some of this stuff with the shadows. Right. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Dead as a doornail. So let's see. We've got Sarah Jackson gifted a membership. Then we have Nunya, Amy States, and Vicky Cobb. Testing 2741. Ashley Ferris. Nunya 42123, testing 2741, Wild Bill Wassman, Esther M, Trustworthy Technology, Vicky White, Allie Cake, Merev, and RMTH. Allie Cake gifted one, then we had Wild Bill Wassman gift one, and then Cheryl gifted one, and then Olivia, aka Olivia Ocean, then Pub Friend number 1. That's kind of a... Let's see, was that the one regarding... Oh, that was something else. Never mind. Oh, yeah, the Candace Owens one. Then Sarah Francis, and then Karen. Then Sarah Francis, new member. Then Jeannie. Then Born to Raise Hogs, gifted one. Or became a new member. And then Dixie Hippie, gifted one. Then Alley Cake, Karen, Mushy, Mystic. Sarah Francis did a cat eye donation. Pre-crime and crime scene. Yeah, I think I might actually make like an animation or something pretty soon. Like I did in Delphi with movements. I think that'll be pretty cool. And then Sarah Francis, gifted 20 memberships after upgrading to Megazoid. Missed that part. Hey, thanks so much. And then Lisa Belson gifted 10 memberships. Then I gifted 5. Then Chris Stew, new member, Chris Stew. Then Sarah Francis, Mason Windu, T Morrill, 1 month. And then Mason Windu, Sarah Francis, Sarah Beth, and Mason Windu gifted a membership. Then we had over here we had Joseph. Sarah J. and SFW on the PayPal. And then we had just one coffee again. Jesus. Lisa Valenzuela. Oh, well, I'm getting the hell out of here, Zozo. I might hang out here for a couple more minutes. What do you have? What do you got? What do you want to talk about for 10 minutes? What do we got? Oh, and also Whiskey Boots said she sent in a gifted membership, but it doesn't show up in the... didn't show up. Hey, listen. Hey, the Joey, listen. That's me, the Joey, Joseph. Oh, hey, what did you think of the... what did you think of what I just asked ChatGPT? Does that change your mind a little bit? Oh, well, thank you for the coffee there, or the PayPal coffee there, Joseph. So what did you think of that a minute ago? And by the way, you guys, we are the autopsies, just listen for a second. They don't show up this quick. An autopsy was done. Who is telling you an autopsy wasn't done? Who's ever telling you that is a crazy person. All right? Obviously, an autopsy was done. I mean, in a case like this, it's a homicide. Not only that, it was a huge case with national implications. I think Charlie Kirk very likely could have been the president of the United States in like 10 years or so, you know? And he had a huge following of people that loved him, and, you know, he was a very nice person. He may have had some religious beliefs that people didn't agree with. I think politically, everything he says is completely common sense, logical, rational thought, you know? Other than that, you know, there's just no way in hell an autopsy wasn't done. That's not an option. That's not something, you know, that's going to happen. I mean, you really think that, right? Like, the FBI is going to go, you know, we wanted to check out the ballistics, but they cremated him before we even got there. I mean, give me a break, you guys. Ah, come on. We don't even know what that image is that we've seen in the box. Okay? And no, it's not inconsistent. You know, showing a picture of it and then saying, hey, look at this, that's not going to work. Yeah, we don't even know if it's the gun or anything. You guys, people are just reading too much into different stuff. I've just went through the case with you. No, they haven't done what kind of bullet it was or anything like that yet. I wish they would speed up that process. You know, they need. I mean, it'd be great if they had another press conference. The problem is Tyler Robinson is alive. That's the problem. That's why we're not getting the information. Okay, it's like it has to go to trial at this point. It's something happened to him, and he wasn't with us anymore, as it were. Yeah, we'd have all this stuff. They would have had press conferences, you know, just like they tried to do with, you know, Charlie, or what's his name? Not Charlie. Thomas Crooks is what I was trying to say. I was thinking of Kirk. Have you done the angle math? Oh, jeez, the angle math. Here we go. The angle math. Yeah, it hit him right where it's supposed to hit him. Have you done the angle math to see if the side view camera spotting him laying down? Yes, I already did all that. I was the first person to actually do that. I mean, look at right over here. Watch. It was right here. And you don't have to do math. I mean, I'm not sure why you're saying math. But right here is where that camera shot was from. And it was right up there on this roof where that guy was laying down. Right here. And that's exactly the spot where the shot came in. Right there. He was probably, I think he was positioned like this. This is an incredible shot that Reuters got. I mean, look at this. That's basically the angle, just slightly off the ground, higher. I mean, you can see that. They went right where this thing isn't blocking them anymore, this roof. And they slid. They were right there. They didn't go all the way to the edge. They're probably 5-6 feet from the edge. So they're basically right here. And see that? Boom. Right there. It all matches up. And if you don't believe me, I'll show it to you again. I did this on the first show that we did. I think this is one of the videos Zozo sent me. Like, hey, look at this. You know, a guy on a roof. And it absolutely is the guy, you know. And so we have this shot, and then we'll go back and look at, let's see, what was the... Right here. I mean, just watch this for a second. Look at.
Over to sand. You think he'd already be in place?
Okay, just use that one for now. I mean, look at how absolutely perfect that is. See that? Everything's exactly the same. Right up there. See that? And then we're going to go ahead and move it forward.
Well, from over there.
All right. So this is zoomed in. See right there? This is the brown. There's brown right there. Just keep looking at this. Brown there, black there. And then right up here, that's the shooter on the roof. He explained how the guy ran from the side. So now that we see that, notice how right there, there's brown there, brown there. We're going to go all the way over there. Just keep looking at the brown. It's this building right there where the guy's laying, and that is exactly where the shot came from and where that photograph is taken from. So doesn't that mean something to the conspiracy theorists? I mean, I've gone over this a million times too. Doesn't that mean anything to them? That the guy that they saw running, so that what Candace Owens does is she goes and talks to this person and goes, oh, look at that, he's wearing camo and he had a, really, you're 160 yards away. Look it, we're going to go like this. Here is the exact spot that those people were standing. And then I'm going to measure it from the rooftop over there. Watch this, go from right there to right here, and that is, in yards, 159 yards. Do you think you're going to be able to make out something, especially when it's sort of like the sun? You know, the sun is right behind the camera, so they're way up there, and it probably makes them look like they're dark because they're wearing all the clothes. Now, if it was on the other side, it'd even be worse, but you know, they're way up on the roof. The sun is basically directly behind the camera, and it is, you know, up on that roof. They're wearing all black. It's really far away. They can't see what the hell somebody's wearing. Like, he literally said, that's not the kind of gun he was carrying, according to Candace Owens. How in the hell are you going to see that? There's no way in hell you're looking at something like that. Right. And so you got that shot. And by the way, the video over here that was taken inside the flag room of that one, like a 2-second period of time when they're running, same exact spot. Right? I've already done all of that. You know, the triangulation stuff. You don't need to do any, quote, math. You know, you don't need to do math. You just see it. It's right there. Yeah, you get that? So I don't know who it was that asked me if I did the math. Do you understand why you don't need the math right there? It's literally just visually you can see it. All right, well, I think I'm going to make a video on the shadows for the roof tomorrow, just so that people can see that they match. Everybody kept asking about it. Do you think that's worth... I think I'll do that and a theory based on, you know, the 10:08, not... you know, it's like 10:08 or 10:06, whatever it is, and not 8:06 in the morning that shot was taken. We've already established that. Oh, yeah? Okay, cool, Chase. Awesome. A lot of times people just come back with another retort that doesn't make any sense. So thank you for seeing something that actually made sense and then not coming up with some other, well, what about, and then, you know, like that, and then it just starts getting into a weird place. I mean, I thought it was so cool when we put this right here and we were like, oh. And that's, so here's the thing. When we first, on the very first day, just using sort of like, he got shot in the front part of his neck. I went up here. First I kind of thought about this spot, and then I saw this spot here, and I go, man, that's a really good one. I mean, look at this spot right here. I mean, that's just a dead-on shot. So that's where I predicted the shooting would have been from, right there. Okay, I mean, I'm only off by, what, about 12, 15 feet or something? However, then when this video came out later in the day, and we look up there and you see him on that one, that's where the actual answer came in. And then we know that he was right there. Then that other video came out inside of like this window over here, and you see him up there from over in this position, stand up right up there actually, and start running. He starts running in that direction. And it's lower, it's right on that rooftop right there. Runs in that direction, and then law enforcement has a video almost picking it up right at that same moment. And that's in my video that I made, that timeline video. He stands up in that video, and then the camera picks him up. We actually have video when he's right here. I mean, see this? At 12:23 and 34 seconds, he's right there. See where this pin is? So we almost have everything. We just don't have the part where he gets up and then he goes over there, and they should have shown him getting up and running just to shut people up. However, they didn't do that. They picked him up right here, running, and then he runs around right over here and then climbs down, runs across the street over here, and right in this wooded area, he put the rifle. In fact, the photograph that they took, there's a photograph of techs right here with cameras, right in this exact spot. So, you know, whatever they were doing there, we don't know. All right, you guys, I stayed on for an extra 10 minutes. Thanks for watching. All right. Thanks for being here. We'll see you guys next time. And as I always say, until that next time, be safe out there. And a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, thug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. The Fuzzy Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pump protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I'm a temple fucking checker. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later. All right, everybody, be safe out there. And everybody, thanks for the support on the channel tonight. We kind of slowed down pretty dramatically there, but hey, we made the goal and everything, so very cool. Thanks, everybody. Be safe.